welcome to Villa Rica High School and Sam McIntyre Field. I'm Scott Singer along with Matt Santini as WBHF Radio and Workhorse Video Productions bring you coverage of Hurricane football for the 2003 season. Today, the undefeated 3-0 Purple Hurricanes on the road here at Villa Rica, taking on the 2-1 Wildcats in the second game of their Region 6 AAA schedule. And Matt, it is a beautiful night for football here in West Georgia.
Such a wonderful night, Scott. We have opted to sit on the visitor side, surrounding ourselves in the right color purple amongst the Cartersville fans. On the visiting side, fresh air, feel a little bit like Harry Carey minus the alcoholic beverages, being able to bring everybody high school football.
Exactly. We're up here in the bleachers tonight, and it is a great place to call a football game from, and we get to do this every once in a while, and tonight is one of those evenings, and it should be a great football game. Last year, these two teams square off at Weinman Stadium, a 3-0 loss for the Hurricanes as Villa Rica escapes without really positive yardage, but they did get the 3 across the board, and that was the difference in the game tonight. We're looking for a different story, and it should be one. Cartersville's defense has been absolutely awesome in the first 3 weeks of the season, not allowing a touchdown through 12 quarters. They have also only allowed 1 field goal in the second quarter of their opener against Stevens County on the road. So they have gone now 10 quarters without allowing any points at all.
And let's not forget, Stevens County was a ranked team in the top 10 in AAA. They blanket Daresville, a ranked team in AA, and then they take care of business against Central Carroll. And so this defense has been tested. So you got to expect maybe this Cartersville defense, if tradition holds, they will be playing they may remind these folks on the other side of the stands exactly how good their defense was last year.
Exactly, and that's what we're hoping to see this year. A little different story. I'd like to see a few more points on the board than the 3-0 we saw last year. Right now, the Hurricanes still in their locker room getting their final instructions from head coach Frank Barton and the rest of the coaching staff. Villa Rica in the same situation right now. And Matt, I guess we should take a quick break, come back, and we'll have this one from you from Sam McIntyre Field here on the campus of Villa Rica High School. And welcome back to Sam McIntyre Field on the campus of Villa Rica High School. I'm Scott Singer along with Matt Santini as the Hurricanes play their second Region 6 AAA game of the year tonight as they take on the Villa Rica Wildcats. Matt, we have not yet seen the captains from Villa Rica on the field. The Hurricane captains are here right now, and they will be making their way toward midfield for the toss in just a second. And Matt, something a little different this year that the Canes have been doing, and that has been when they've won the toss, they've elected to take the football, and they want that offense on the field first.
Well, it's kind of a show of confidence in the way Alan Barnes has played, number one. Number two, so much confidence in your defense that even if you don't get something going offensively, that you're going to be in good shape. But really want to set the tone, move the ball down the field, get some points, and then back the other team up. It's basic football right there, but like you said, so many weapons for this team to use this year that they feel very confident taking that football and making something positive happen on the first possession. Personally, I'm a big fan of putting your defense out there first, but you can hardly argue with the result that they've had so far this year.
Well, the coin toss hasn't happened yet, but the Hurricanes are out of their alley on the road here as they have brought the team out onto the field, and they're getting ready to come through their banner on the opposite side of the field. And, of course, they'll wait for the captains to take care of business first. Villa Rica, of course, coming out of their locker room as well. And, man, this is a great night for football. The Hurricanes in their gold helmets, white jerseys and white breeches on the other side of the football field. In their yellow hats, along with purple jerseys and purple pants, are the Villa Rica Wildcats. The captains are now making their way toward the midfield stripe and introducing themselves to their respective line judges who will bring them across, and then we'll have head referee Dan Ragsdale give us the coin toss. The umpire for tonight's game is Hostin Carson. The linesman is Don Wilson. Carlton Reeves is the clock operator. The line judge is Larry Pelfrey. The back judge will be Mike Williams, and the field judge is Horace Thompson. As the captains are making their way toward midfield, the captains for tonight's game for the Hurricanes will be number 30, Daniel Payne, along with number 3, Roman Gilliam, number 78, Corey McCombs, and number 82, Wayne Terry. And we'll send it down to the field with referee Dan Ragsdale.
If you would introduce yourselves and shake hands. Mr. Carson's the umpire tonight. All right, what we're going to do, we're going to have a white team, a purple team. If we have any penalties tonight, I'll ask the captain from each side. I'll tell one team what they did. I'll give the other team the choice. If you don't understand the choice I'm giving you, make me repeat. Once you make a decision, that's final, okay? All right, that's a head. I want you to call it in the air. If I drop it, we'll flip it again. Listen to what he says, I will ask you. What did he say, Captain? He said heads, it is heads. You want to toss. You want to receive, which end you want to kick. You away from the clock. All right, put your backs up. You would, and yours this way, Captain. This way, come around. Let's shake hands and have a good ball game, man.
And there you have the coin toss, Matt. The Hurricanes have won the toss. They will get the football, and they will be moving left to right on your radio dial as the Hurricanes will defend the left, or I guess that is the, I would say, what, the south end zone. And here come the Hurricanes out of their banner and ready to play football here at Weinman Stadium. And it's now time to take a look down on the field with our sideline reporter for tonight's game, Kyle Tucker. Kyle, what do you have for us?
Georgia, Crystal. Grass here, feel like it's a fast track. I think Cartersville will be able to use their speed tonight against the Villa Rica Wildcats. Back up to the booth.
Thanks a lot, Kyle. We had a little interference on the audio that time. We'll hopefully get that all straightened out for the next time. But as Kyle said, he was saying that the track is very dry tonight. The weather has been great all week long, and that should benefit the Hurricanes and their speed as they take the field here tonight at Sam McIntyre Field. As the Hurricane return team getting out on the field right now, back deep to receive will be Ramon Nesbitt. To his right is Terrell Johnson. The next line of defense sees, or the next back on the left sees Roman Gilliam. The next line of defense is James Maxwell along with Devin Evans and Brandon Houston. Across the front five for the Hurricanes is number 23, Will Davis, who's come up big defensively the last couple weeks, along with Davin Winters, number 76, Robbie Livesey, number 82, Wayne Terry, and on the end there, Daniel Payne. So the Hurricanes, some pretty good athletes on the field right now, and set to kick this one off for Villa Rica will be number 14, Peter Reese. And Reese will put the ball down on the near hash mark on the 40-yard line, and we're just about ready to get things underway here from Sam McIntyre Field on the campus of Villa Rica High School.
Got a great crowd tonight. Cartersville brings an awful lot of fans, as you would expect they would. They've deserved the support. 3-0 in the year, looking for their second region win tonight.
Back deep to receive is Ramon Nesbitt, and you hear the Hurricane faithful on their feet here at Sam McIntyre Field, and we're just about ready to get this Region 6 AAA game underway. Again, number 14, Peter Reese, set to kick this one deep. Reese will put it down on the 40-yard line, and he gets his foot underneath this one. It is a deep floating kick. It'll be fielded by Terrell Johnson at the 11-yard line. He's across the 15, stays on his feet, looking for the corner. He's across the 20, the 25, the 30, stays on his feet at the 40, spins off one tackler at the 45, and he's gonna get loose at the 40. He's still on his feet at the 30, the 20, the 10, and I think they're gonna whistle that one dead back at the, well, we'll see what the call is.
It's like the 43-yard line. Referee stand must have stepped out of bounds on the far side, and I don't know if he threw the flag to spot where he stopped or if there actually is an infraction on the play, but great effort by Terrell Johnson.
There's a holding call on the field, and we'll hear it. And that'll back the Canes up on the first play of the game. So the Hurricanes will be backed up, Matt, back to their own, looks like they'll put the ball down on the 24-yard line. Actually, that's where the infraction was. So now they'll move it back 10 yards from there, and they will start on the 14. So Cartersville, with some poor field position after the penalty, will start from their own 14-yard line.
Head referee tonight, Dan Ragsdale, told me right off the top, don't say that the referee brought it back, because we didn't do it. We didn't do it. One of the players did. So we'll try not to say that tonight.
Well, the Hurricanes will bring it up to the line. Alan Barnes goes under center. Wayne Terry to the right side of the formation as the tight end. The wing back is Ramon Nesbitt. One back in the backfield is Devin Evans. They hand it off to him right up the middle. He gains a couple on first down. bringing up 2nd and 8.
Spain Cosby, sophomore linebacker, coming up and making the play on Evans. Nice form tackle. Put the face mask right in the chest, wrapped him up, and brought Evans down. Gain of 2 on first down. Scott, that penalty really changes the way you outlook on this whole first possession. Being backed up a little bit, trust your defense, you may be a little more conservative than you normally would be.
Well, the Hurricanes will bring it up to the line. This time, they'll come out with a split backfield, and Barnes will come out of the shotgun. No tight end this time. He's got 2 wide receivers to the left side of the formation. A.T. Barnes wide to the right side of the formation. Long snap count. Now he's going to change things up, and now we've got a penalty flag on the field. We'll see what the call is. Looks like it'll be delay a game against the Canes.
Got delay on the white. 3 seconds down.
So it'll be a delay a game against the Hurricanes. That will back them up a few. And instead of 2nd and 7, it's now 2nd and 12. So a mental mistake by the Canes to get things going. They'll be backed up to their own 13-yard line, and this time, under play action, Barnes rolls out, nowhere to go, and now he's just going to tuck it and run, and Barnes loses the football, and it's on the ground. Villa Rica says they have it, and we'll see what the call is. It's going to be 3rd down. Villa Rica did not get the football. The Hurricanes dodge a bullet right there.
Yeah, very fortunate. Barnes rolling to his left, had Evans from the fullback position out in the flat. That's something we talked about in the pregame show. Opted not to go to him and instead tried to outrun the defense to the corner. Caught from behind, had the ball stripped. I didn't see who fell on it, but fortunately, the Hurricanes maintained possession. Remember last year when the Canes fell to Villa Rica 3-0, their field goal came after a turnover deep inside Cartersville's own territory.
Well, Matt, the Hurricanes will bring it up to the line. They will come out of the eye. Wide receivers to the right side of the formation are Orocho and Terrell Johnson. And this time they drop back. They give it up to Devin Evans across the middle, and he is across the 14 out to about the 16-yard line. A gain of a couple on 3rd down, and that forces the Hurricane kick team to come onto the field.
Well, certainly not the way you wanted to get out of the blocks. You got to play a little more conservative after the penalty, and then you have the mental mistake. I think at this point you're just happy that you still have the ball 4 downs to punt it. And we'll see what the Cartersville defense can do. Back deep for Villa Rica is Terrence Terrell. Standing at about his own 45, now slides up to the 50.
And we got a penalty flag on the field. Looks like Villa Rica jumped a little early. We'll see what the call is. It'll be offsides against Villa Rica. That'll move the Hurricanes up a couple.
Got a dead ball, offsides on the purple.
Well, another one of those would be handy. Villa Rica would practically give Cartersville a 1st down.
Of course,
Cartersville goes with a long count on the punt.
Roman Gilliam in to kick it away will now stand across his own 10-yard line at the 11. It's a high snap. He just gets it off. It'll be an end-over-end kick. It'll bounce and take a Cartersville roll into Villa Rica territory back at the 43-yard line. So could have been a rough play there, but the Hurricanes dodge a bullet and get the ball away. And now Villa Rica will take over. And at their own 43-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10 with 9:21 to play here in the opening quarter. No score from Sam McIntyre Field here on the campus of Villa Rica High School.
Scott, last year Villa Rica ran out of the wishbone. This year they have the eye. Trying to open things up a little bit more.
Villa Rica brings it up to the line, out of the eye. They're going to send a back in motion. He goes to the right side of the formation. That's the tight end. And this time they hand off right up the middle to their fullback, number 5, Neil Strickland, who pushes his way across the 45 out near the 46-yard line. A gain of almost 3 on 1st down. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Terrence Benham coming up to make the stop that time for the Hurricanes.
$8:58 to play here in the opening quarter. No score from Sam McIntyre Field. The Wildcats bring it up to the line. Again, they will run out of the eye. Going under center is Ant Evans, and this time he keeps it himself on the option down the line. He's looking down, and he gets hit after a gain of a couple. Coming on to make the big stick that time was Davin Winters, along with the rest of the Hurricane defense.
So much the signature so far in this season, Scott. About 4 or 5 hats near the football, making the play. Not a whole lot of solo tackles.
So the Wildcats will bring it up to the line. It'll be 3rd and 5. They'll work from their own 49-yard line. And Evans goes under center. Long snap count. This time he hands off to Strickland up the middle, and Strickland pushes near the midfield stripe, but he's going to be short of the first down, and we'll see what Villa Rica does on their first big decision of the game.
Scott, they're going to go ahead and punt this and play field position. I'm a little surprised at that. They have had some success offensively, but I guess they're going to play the field position game. Very important for Cartersville here to sit back and not jump. They may try to do a long snap count, and you also got to be careful for the fake. Actually, they are going to go for it, and they're running out of the power tee.
Now they're going to drop back into a punt formation as number 10, Sean Myers, has come in to kick it, and now we've got a penalty flag on the field. Looks like some procedure, we'll see. And that's
a dead ball, offsides on White. First down.
Didn't see exactly who it was, Scott, but you had to look out for it, and that's what they did. They jump off sides. Villa Rica with a new set of downs on the Cartersville 44-yard line.
So Villa Rica with their first down of the game due to a Cartersville mistake. They'll run their 4th play as they send the wide receiver in motion. They'll look for twins on the left side of the formation. Evans running around the left end looking for the corner. Catches a block and now gets outside, and he'll be knocked out of bounds at the 35-yard line of Cartersville. A nice run that time, and he's very near moving the chains.
Right off the bat, we're seeing a lot more speed than we've seen in the first 3 games. Very few players have been able to get to the corner on this Cartersville defense. That time, Ant Evans on the keeper around left end, able to get to the corner. Gain of 8 on first down.
Evans will bring him up to the line. They will work out of the eye, a wide receiver to each side. Tight end to the left side of the formation now moves over to the right in motion. They'll run to that pro eye set. The Hurricanes move around defensively, and this time they hand off right up the middle again. This time to the fullback. The ball's loose, and the Hurricanes dive on it. It'll be white football, and the Hurricanes take over.
Zach Kiesler, Johnny on the spot. Devin Evans, the one that made the hit. I believe Mike Fair in there as well. Tried to pound it up the middle with Strickland. Good, hard hitting by the Canes. Knocks the ball loose. Zach Kiesler's there, and the defense has done its job.
So at the 7:19 mark here in the opening quarter, the Hurricanes take over 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line. They'll work from the near hash mark as they break the huddle and bring it up to the line. Corey McCombs goes over the ball. They'll bring the tight end Wayne Carey to the right side of the formation, along with number 5, Ramon Nesbitt, in at the wing back on the right side. Now they're going to switch it all up and bring the tight end to the left side of the formation. They're going to send Nesbitt in motion, and this time they give it to him around the left end. Nesbitt looking for some daylight, and there's going to be a penalty flag in the backfield. Nesbitt was brought down at the line of scrimmage after no gain, if any. It's going to be holding against the Hurricanes.
Villa Rica captains trying to check out their options. Very small gain despite the hold.
Holding on the white team. Repeat first down.
And there you see the call from head referee Dan Ragsdale, they've called a bunch of them tonight already.
There's going to be some guys icing down their elbows during halftime. They keep on throwing that many flags.
It's going to wear out the microphone down there. All right, the Hurricanes bring it up to the line. 4 wide receivers this time. Out of the shotgun goes Alan Barnes. No tight end. 1 back in the backfield is Nesbitt. He throws to the flat on the screen pass, giving it to A.T. Barnes, who looks upfield. He's across the 30 out near the 35-yard line. He'll be very near the first down, maybe 2 or 3 yards short, and it's going to actually, I'm sorry, he's near the original sticks. 2 or 3 yards short of that, so it's going to bring up 2nd and about 12. Maybe he's not quite as far as I thought, more like 2nd and 14.
Good conservative throw, trying to get Barnes in rhythm.
Ball up at the 34-yard line. Hurricanes moving left to right on your radio dial and your television screen. Barnes rolls out to his right, throws across the middle, has a receiver in Orocho, and it's incomplete. Just in and out of the hands of Nestle Orocho, and that'll bring up 3rd and long. Good looking pass that time by Alan Barnes, and hit Orocho right in the hands. He couldn't make the play.
Really good throw. Good job by Ramon Nesbitt to pick up the blitz. They sent the strong safety that time. And Orocho, as you said, had an opportunity to make a play, just couldn't do it there. He would have had the 1st down yardage. Bring up a 3rd down and 14 from Cartersville's own 34 with 6:14 to go in the 1st quarter and no score.
Well, the Hurricanes will bring it up to the line. Out of the shotgun goes Alan Barnes. He'll drop back to pass. With some time now, he's going to turn and run it. He's across the 40, he stays on his feet, and he'll be knocked out of bounds at the 43-yard line. That's going to bring up 4th down, and the Hurricanes will be forced to punt. So the Hurricane punt team coming on the field with 6:06 to play. And just like last year, it's been a defensive battle to get things going here.
It's got one thing Villa Rica is doing that we have not seen yet this year is they're playing a tight press, man-to-man coverage all over the field, not playing any kind of zone at all, just manning the Cartersville receivers everywhere. And to this point, they've done a good job. That time Barnes does the smart thing with all the DBs' backs turned. With good coverage, he just took it upfield, just came up short of the 1st down.
Terrence Terrell back deep to receive. The snap underway, and now Roman Gilliam kicks a beauty. That ball back to the 20-yard line. He signaled for the fair catch, and now it'll take a Cartersville roll back to, it looks like the 11-yard line, and that's where Villa Rica will take over. And a huge break for the Canes that time. They get the roll and a great punt after a poor snap. And with 5:54 to go here in the opening quarter, no score here from Sam McIntyre Field. We'll take a quick break to pause for station identification. You're listening to WBHF AM 1450. And welcome back to Sam McIntyre Field. 5:54 to play here in the opening quarter, and on the first play from scrimmage for the Wildcats, they hand off right up the middle. The ball carrier that time, Terrence Terrell, and he gains a couple on 1st down, bringing up 2nd and long, and the clock continues to run with 5:41 to go here in the opening quarter.
Great penetration up the middle that time by Darius Benham. Tripping up the ball carrier before he had a chance to get anything really going. Davin Winters was right there to clean him up.
Villa Rica bringing it up on the far hash mark. 5:22 to go here in the opening quarter. Again, Ant Evans goes under center, out of an eye backfield, tight end to the left side of the formation. Hurricanes move on the defensive line, and now they'll run the option down the line. Brandon Houston chasing him to the corner and catching him in the backfield and bringing him down for a huge loss that time was the Hurricane defense as they make the stick on the tailback that time, number 20, Sergio Jones.
I tell you what, Brandon Ledbetter did a great job. Thought he was going to get himself in a little bit of trouble. Played the quarterback, and Evans trying to get to the corner, and then was able to raise. I don't think Evans really should have pitched that ball. I think he had the corner himself, but he pitches it to Sergio Jones, gives the defense a little bit more time to pursue. And as a result, big loss on 2nd down. A true passing situation now for Villa Rica. 3rd and 14, backed up on their own 7-yard line.
Back at the 7, the Wildcats will try to get something going offensively. They will run a wide split this time as they send the wide receiver, number 6, Trey Greason, wide out to the right side of the formation. Again, Ant Evans goes under center, and this time they hand off right up the middle for a couple. It will get nowhere, and looks like the Wildcats will be forced to punt as the Hurricane faithful on their feet here at Sam McIntyre Field, getting excited about this one.
Tell you what, Scott, the student section has really stepped up to the challenges here, just like the football team has. Looks like they got a little bit of organization behind them. They got guys dressed in purple going crazy last week. This week they're wearing white, marching up and down the aisles, toting flags, and getting the crowd into the game.
Well, it will be 4th and 9, and again into kick now for the Wildcats is Sean Myers. Back deep to receive for the Hurricanes, Roman Gilliam, along with Terrell Johnson. That is a high floating kick, and Johnson will field it at the 40, turns upfield at the 45, gets away from one tackler, stays on his feet, and he'll be brought down at the 44-yard line, and that's where the Hurricanes will take over on their own 44 on the near hash mark with 3:33 to play here in quarter number 1. Again, no score from Sam McIntyre Field.
All right, Scott, now Cartersville has won the game of field position. defense has done a great job. You got to remember, early in the game, Cartersville backed up. Next possession, they get a little better field position. Now they start on their own 44-yard line. So incrementally, Cartersville defense makes up for the errors early on the Cartersville offense, and they're winning the field position battle right now.
3:33 to play here in the opening quarter, and the Hurricane offense will come back on the field. Alan Barnes running the show as he will come in this time with a tight end to the right side of the formation. In at tight end this time for the Hurricanes is number 80, Trent Dittmer. Hurricanes will run the wing T as Dittmer now moves to the left side of the formation. Lone setback this time is number 1, Chris McClendon. They're going to send Nesbitt in motion. They give it to him around the left end. Nesbitt up the middle, pushes his way across the 45 near the midfield stripe. A gain of almost 7 yards on first down. Brings up 2nd and 4.
Boy, first play that Cartersville can really feel good about themselves. 7 yards on first down. Good hard run by Ramo Nesbitt.
3:11 to play here in the opening quarter. Again, no score from Sam McIntyre Field. You're listening to WBHF and watching the Workhorse Video Productions High School Football Game of the Week. This time the Hurricanes will again send the tight end to the right side of the formation. Out of the wing T, Alan Barnes goes under center. This time he's going to send Nesbitt in motion, and he hands off to McClendon up the middle, who pushes near the 45-yard line of Villa Rica, and that could be the Hurricanes' first down of the game.
Very easy, first down. Of course, I'll tell you what, the spots have been a little bit strange tonight. You and I have both kind of mismentioned about how far folks have gotten. No doubt about that one, though, as McClendon has the first down yardage and some to spare. And the Canes waste no time coming back up to the line.
Hurricanes get the first down. They'll move the sticks. Ball at the Villa Rica 45-yard line. Hurricanes again out of the wing T. They're going to send the tight end to the right side of the formation. Again, Barnes goes back under center. A.T. Barnes wide out at receiver on the left side of the formation. This time they're going to send Nesbitt in motion, and they give it to him up the middle. Nesbitt looking for some daylight, and he gets maybe 2 or 3 yards on first down. Brings up 2nd and 7. Good run that time by Ramon right up the middle.
And Almanzo Walker and Spain Cosby wrapping up Nesbitt. They'll bring in Evans, run him out of the fullback position. Look for that little pass out into the flat that they've liked to run. McClendon will come off.
Chris McClendon checking out of the game. Devin Evans back in at fullback now for the Canes. Again, they'll come out of the wing T. A.T. Barnes split out wide to the left side of the formation. They send Nesbitt in motion. This time under play action, they roll out. They throw to Devin Evans in the flat. He's got it at the 40, the 35. Stays on his feet, and he'll be brought down near the 32-yard line of Villa Rica. And it looks like the Hurricanes will move the chains again.
Wow, that sure did make me look smart, didn't it? You have such an advantage on your opponent when you can throw to your defensive back, when you can throw to your fullbacks and your tight ends, especially if they're going to be playing a man-to-man like they've been playing. They've been playing a tight press man-to-man against Cartersville's receivers. You bring a guy out of the backfield, there's just so much interference. A linebacker's got to cover him to start with, and they're going to be at a disadvantage because they got to run through a whole lot of interference, even to get there to cover. And you know, typically most high school linebackers are not good in coverage.
Well, the Hurricanes will bring it up to the line, Matt. This time, in at wingback is number 40, Zach Kiesler, and this time under play action, they drop back. Barnes throws over the top, has A.T. Barnes wide open for the touchdown, and the Hurricanes put 6 on the board. 1:17 to go here in the opening quarter. Mark it down. The Hurricanes blow one open. A 31-yard pitch and catch that time from Alan Barnes to A.T. Barnes, and the Hurricanes are in the end zone.
Scott, I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. He wasn't wide open. It was a great throw by Alan Barnes. Great way to keep in stride A.T. Barnes, not slowing down, finding the open spot and making the catch, hauling it in. Nice looking 6 for the Hurricanes.
So Chad Rhodes will come in to attempt the extra point with 1:17 to play here in the opening quarter. The snap is down, the kick is up and on its way, and it's good. The Hurricanes lead it 7-0. We'll break quickly and come back with the kickoff. You're listening to WBHF and watching the High School Football Game of the Week. And welcome back to Sam McIntyre Field.
You're going to have to yell, Melody. We can't hear you.
And welcome back to Sam McIntyre Field with 1:17 to play here in the opening quarter. It's Cartersville 7, Villa Rica nothing, and the Hurricanes set to kick this one off. Chad Rhodes will have the honors for the Hurricanes as he puts it down on the 40, back deep to receive for Villa Rica. Our number 20, Sergio Jones, and they kick this one right down the middle. And first time the Canes have done that all year as Villa Rica brought some of their coverage team up a little bit. It goes into the end zone for the touchback. And
instead of kicking the high short kick, he hits a 3-iron right through the back of the end zone, backing Villa Rica up. And Evans under center, gives straight up the middle this time to Neil Strickland. He'll push forward about 3 yards before being brought down by Devin Winters along with Terrence McClendon.
And we will head down to the field now in just a second for Kyle with 1:02 to play here in the opening quarter. And again, Villa Rica will try to get something going offensively. Villa Rica with the football out of the eye. Ant Evans goes under center. 2nd and 7 the call. They're going to send the wide receiver in motion wide to the left side of the formation. This time Evans rolls out under some pressure, looking for the flat, throws it over the top, and the ball is picked off. Oh, incomplete. Making the play that time was Terrell Johnson. He had to come back to the football, laid out for it. Looked like he might have had it from our vantage point, Matt, but unfortunately for the Canes it didn't work out.
Would have been a great play had he caught that. He had good coverage on Greason, actually on Strickland on the outside. And then as Evans tried to dump it off, Johnson just about picked it off the turf. Darlington, by the way, first half winding down 20-0 over Rockmart.
This time they throw to the flat. They have a receiver. It's complete. The ball carrier that time, number 80, Alan Gentry. He'll be up near the 30-yard line. That'll be very close to a Wildcat first down. We'll see what the call, where the spot is.
About a yard short, Scott.
So it's going to be 4th and 1, and it looks like the Villa Rica punt team will come on the field. And the punter that time, number 10, Sean Myers, will step back at his own 15-yard line. He gets the snap and gets off the kick. It'll be a deep floating kick fielded by Roman Gilliam at the 35. He makes a move, turns upfield at the 45, still on his feet at midfield, and into Villa Rica territory at the 49-yard line, and the Hurricanes will take over 1st and 10.
12.5 seconds to go, first quarter. Cartersville leading this one, 7-0.
So, Matt, the Hurricanes take over with 12.5 seconds remaining here in quarter number 1. They lead it 7-0. And they will now take over at the Villa Rica 49-yard line.
Very crucial. Now you got the ball. Once again, you get the score. Now you get good field position again thanks to your defense. Starting off now in Villa Rica territory at the 49-yard line.
Well, the Hurricanes will bring it up to the line. Alan Barnes will go under center. This time Wayne Terry in at tight end. He'll move to the right side of the formation. They're going to send it back in motion, and they give it to him. And now a flag on the play as the Hurricanes work it up the field for a couple. Raymond Nesbitt, the ball carrier, gets about 7 or 8 on first down, but I think this one's coming back, Matt.
Yeah, very early flag thrown by the referee. It looks like we've got offsetting now. Did not see the second flag come in, but there is something against the Canes and against the Wildcats. We'll wait to get the official word.
Well, the personal foul was a dead ball foul, Matt. They would not offset. You take both penalties. Move it back 5 and then move it up 15 and give the Canes a first down.
Is that what it is, a dead ball?
I don't know if it depends when it happened.
I'm trying to leave a little suspense. I can hear it over the PA, but I know you want to use that fancy ref's mic, so gosh, you got to play. Give me a little bit of slack here. I could have told you what it was 10 seconds ago. All right, so what they'll do is they'll do a little walking. Let's act surprised after the referee says this.
We got illegal shift on the white. And we got a dead ball foul, personal, on the purple. It's gonna be a, you're gonna have to see what we're gonna have a first down or not. Yes. We had a.
So they will move it up to the 38-yard line of Villa Rica, and that is a first down for the Hurricanes. You move it back 5, you move it up 15. My simple math says that's a first down, you move it 10 yards. 6.3 seconds to go here in the opening quarter.
I had to act surprised. I mean, we already said it 5 times, but it kind of reminds us of playing Chutes and Ladders with my daughter earlier this week. And they kind of move forward, then move forward, then move back, and let's look what they did right there. The illegal procedure, as you mentioned, happens on the play, so you mark that penalty off, and then the dead ball foul, the unnecessary roughness or whatever it was, the personal foul, happens after the play, so you actually back up 5 and then walk forward 15. As the Canes let the clock run out for the first quarter of action, we'll take a quick break. Your score, Cartersville 7, Villa Rica nothing. We'll be right back. Let's go ahead and bring us back. Go ahead.
And welcome back to Sam McIntyre Field as we get underway here in the second quarter. The Hurricanes are going to send a back in motion. That's Brandon Houston. Barnes drops back, throws across the middle of the field, has a receiver. It's Ramon Nesbitt at the 25. He's at the 20, catches a block, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds at the 12-yard line. And the Hurricanes are moving the chains deep into Wildcat territory.
Great blocking downfield. Ramon Nesbitt caught it. Devin Evans got a block. Wayne Terry got a block. At the far end, Nastalio Rocha got a block in there. So great work downfield after the catch over the middle. Once again, using guys out of the backfield. That's actually, it's got an old Georgia Southern play. Tracy Ham to Frankie Johnson. I'll remember that one as long as I live. A lot of yards up the middle from the wingback position. You throw it over the middle.
Well, the Hurricanes on the move. They're down at the Villa Rica 12-yard line, and Alan Barnes will bring them up to the line. Hurricanes will run the tight end to the right side of the formation. They're going to send it back in motion. That's Nesbitt, and this time they hand off right up the middle. Devin Evans works his way toward the goal line. Touchdown. And the Hurricanes are on the board again. They now lead it 13-0 as Chad Rhodes comes on to attempt the extra point. And the Hurricanes have stuck another 6 on the board. 11:42 to go here in quarter number 2. And now Chad Rhodes coming on to attempt the extra point. 11:42 to go here in the second quarter. Chad Rhodes will step in. Rhodes kicking right down the middle this time. We'll await the snap. And now we've got movement on the defensive line. Looks like Villa Rica went off sides. And now we'll see what the call is.
Got dead ball, offsides on the defense, declined.
And so the Hurricanes will now kick from the normal extra point range with 11:42 to go here in quarter number 2. Alan Barnes in to hold. The snap is down. The kick is on the way up, and it's good. The Hurricanes lead it 14-0. We'll break for 30 seconds and come back. You're listening to WBHF and watching the high school football game of the week. And welcome back. You're listening to WBHF and you're watching the high school football game of the week. 11:42 to play here in quarter number 2. And Cartersville's Chad Rhodes set to kick this one off. Rhodes with the ball down on the 40-yard line will have the honors. The Hurricanes just scoring on a 15-yard touchdown run by Devin Evans. If you missed it on our radio broadcast, we might have had some technical difficulties. We do apologize. He kicks that one toward the goal line. Picking it up there is number 24, Terrence Terrell. They'll make the wedge, and then here come the Hurricanes after him, and they'll get him right around the 18-yard line, and that's where Terrell will go down after a return of 17 yards, and now Villa Rica will take over back in their own territory with 11:33 to go here in quarter number 2.
15-yard touchdown run by Devin Evans. The Rhodes extra point gives Cartersville a 14-0 lead. 11:33 to go in the half. Villa Rica 1st and 10. Ball spotted on their own 17-yard line.
Villa Rica starting from their own 17, as you said, Matt. So make it a return of 16 yards with 11:33 to play here in quarter number 2. And Villa Rica will bring it up to the line.
Our radio producer, Todd Santini, tells us Alan Barnes, 4 of 5 for 74 yards and a touchdown pass.
Well, Ant Evans will come up to the line, and this time we've got penalty flags all around in the backfield. We have more penalty flags in tonight's game, Matt, than I think I've ever seen.
Tell you what, I ain't even watching the flag. Brandon Houston came in and snapped Neil Strickland's head back on that tackle. That was a nice hard hit there. Villa Rica band, small in number, but pretty loud on the opposite side.
Motion on the offense. First down.
Oh, thank you for the whistle there.
Good and loud there.
That was the right
11:29 to go here in quarter number 2. Cartersville leading it 14-0. Villa Rica trying to get something going here. They'll face a 1st and 15 as the penalty backs them up to their own 12-yard line, and this time they'll hand off to their fullback up the middle, Neil Strickland, and he's hit right at the line of scrimmage and brought down for no gain, bringing up 2nd and 15 with 11:18 to go here in the first half.
Tell you what, more hard hitting by the Canes. That time Davin Winters comes through and cleans the clock on Neil Strickland. He's going to be in the tub tomorrow. He keeps on taking a pounding like that.
Villa Rica will bring it up to the line. They will work from their own 12-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 15. 10:53 to go here in quarter number 2. Under center goes Ant Evans, and this time he'll hand off around the left end, and the tailback that time, number 20, Sergio Jones, gets hit in the backfield and brought down for no gain. Might have lost a yard on the play, bringing up 3rd and long with 10:38 to go here in quarter number 2. Canes again leading it 14-0. You're watching the high school football game of the week, and you're listening to WBHF AM 1450. Hurricanes will move back on defense. The Canes have now successfully gone 13 quarters without allowing a touchdown. And now they bring their defense up to the line. Ant Evans goes under center. One back in the backfield, and this time they'll option around the left end. Evans keeps it, and he gets drilled. What a great tackle that time, coming on to make the play. Number 3, Roman Gilliam, and boy, Roman Gilliam has been such an addition to this Cartersville football program. Only his first year ever playing football, and boy, he has just been intense on both sides of the field. And now he'll go back to return a punt here with 9:41 to go here in quarter number 2, as the Hurricanes have again forced Villa Rica into a punting situation. Summary of drives looks like this for Villa Rica. They fumbled in their opening drive, then punt, and now they forced him to punt again. They get the snap, and coming on, now that the punter's going to run with it. He's across the 20, stays on his feet at the 30, and on the busted play, gets brought down at the 38-yard line, and it'll be a first down for the Wildcats. So a tough break for the Canes. They get back in their return and weren't paying attention to the punter. And
well, Scott, you just had a sense that was going to happen at some point tonight. First time, Villa Rica gets the Canes to jump off sides by shifting, and this time they go ahead and shift into a fake punt that's successful. Really digs them out of a hole here with 9:16 to go in the half.
I'm not sure if it was a fake punt as much as it was just the punter seeing a lane and took off running. And you got a good athlete there at punter. Out of the eye now, and Evans drops back, throws for the flat, has a receiver, and it's caught that time by number 80, Alan Gentry. Gains a couple on first down. And it brings up, it's like 2nd and 5, maybe 2nd and 6. The ball will be spotted up at the 44-yard line. 2nd and 4 the call. Villa Rica bringing it up to the line. They'll work from their own 44-yard line. Ant Evans goes under center, out of an eye backfield. And this time he hands off to Sergio Jones right up the middle, who gains a couple, gets across midfield, stays on his feet, and crosses the 40 and down to Cartersville territory at the 37-yard line. And Villa Rica will move the chains. So what a change of momentum this has been, Matt.
Well, you know, a special teams play can certainly do that. Can kind of get you back into the game, give you a little renewed sense of life, and get you feeling good about yourself. Looks like they're playing off that right now. Cartersville back on their heels a little bit. But with a 14-point lead, 8 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the half.
So Villa Rica with the football, and this time rolling out is Ant Evans with room, and now he'll go to the corner. He's going to turn up at the 35, and he's going to be wrestled out of bounds. No, he won't. He stays on his feet, turns upfield, and he's going to be brought down inside the 10, down at the 9-yard line, and Villa Rica knocking on the door here with 7:55 to go here in quarter number 2.
Touchdown saving tackle by Brandon Houston. Nice run by Ann Evans. Scoots down the sideline and reads a couple blocks. Got Villa Rica on the cusp of getting back into this football game.
Villa Rica will bring it up to the line. Ant Evans will go under center. Tight end to the right side of the formation, again out of the eye. Strickland and Jones in the backfield, and they hand it off to Strickland up the middle, and he gets maybe a yard on the play inside the 8-yard line down to the 7. It's going to bring up 2nd and goal.
Davin Winters on the stop there, his defensive end position. Canes trying to keep that streak alive of not giving up any points for 11 quarters now.
Hurricane sideline making a little noise, getting into it here. Their defense being tested a little bit right now. Canes leading at 14-0, 7 minutes to play here in quarter number 2. Villa Rica on the move. Ant Evans from the 7-yard line. Again with Neil Strickland and Sergio Jones in the backfield. Evans goes under center, tight end to the right side, and he gives it to Strickland up the middle, who's hit and brought down after a gain of maybe a yard on the play. Davin Winters loses his bonnet on the play that time as it rolls into the end zone. And it'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 5.
Well, that just didn't fall off either. That shot right across the pile and headed to the sidelines. Some people thought that was a football that came out of there so hard. But once again, Winters putting a hat on somebody, and despite the fact that his helmet came off, he still stayed locked up.
6.5 minutes to play here in the first half. Again, Villa Rica will bring it up to the line. Ant Evans out of the eye with Neil Strickland and Sergio Jones in the backfield. Now we're going to have an official timeout.
They just got to fix Winters' helmet, make sure it's on there right. Got to figure if the helmet came off, the mouthpiece may have gone flying as well.
Hurricane faithful on their feet.
I was going to say, metal bleachers over here kind of make a little noise.
This time they're going to bring the tight end to the right side of the formation. Again, Evans goes under center, and this time he drops back to pass under pressure, throws it up for the corner of the end zone, and the ball is incomplete. Almost picked off that time in the corner of the end zone by Brantley Ledbetter, and that's going to bring up 4th and goal, and now Villa Rica with a decision to make. Do they go ahead and take some points, or do they try to hammer this one home?
I think you go ahead and put points on the board.
Doesn't look like any kicking game is coming on the field, though, Matt.
Well, you may see him go up there and go with a long snap count.
Well, now they're going to call timeout. So Villa Rica is going to talk this one over with 6:02 to play here in the first half. You're listening to WBHF and watching the high school football game of the week with your score, Cartersville 14, Villa Rica nothing.
$14-0 your score, 6:02 to go in the half. The Villa Rica Wildcats facing a big 4th down decision here. 4th down and goal from the Cartersville 5. Scott, I think they're going to take a long snap count here and see if they can't shorten this distance. If not, they'll kick the field goal.
Villa Rica bringing it up to the line. 4th and 5 to call. It looks like they're going to run the football as Ant Evans goes under center out of the eye. He's going to bring the tight end to the right side of the formation. The defense shifts. Evans still with the long snap count, and now he drops back to pass. Under some pressure, he's going to roll out, looking for the corner of the end zone, and now the Hurricanes stick him back at the 5, and they turn it over on downs. Cartersville takes over, and the streak is still alive. The Hurricanes hold him tight, and boy, is that defense fired up. Devin Evans bringing him home here, and a lot of pride on that Hurricane defense tonight.
Well, went back to the same play they ran on 3rd down. They tried to isolate Brantley Ledbetter against Alan Gentry. That was a great battle last time. Ledbetter got the best of it. They tried it again, but the pressure came from Zach Kiesler on the inside, jumped up, got his arms up, really threw Evans' timing off, and as he tried to roll, it just gave the defense enough time to pursue. Great job Ledbetter on the outside, great job by the defense overall. As you said, Scott, the streak is still alive. 5:53 to go in the half.
Well, Cartersville will work from their own 6-yard line as Alan Barnes goes under center. He pitches it outside to Ramon Nesbitt. Nesbitt spins off one tackler, steps up and gets hit and brought down after a loss of a couple on the play, and it's going to bring up 2nd and long. Now they'll be backed up to, looks like, the 3-yard line, a loss of maybe back to the 2. It might have been a loss of 4 on the play. As we see the spot now, Matt.
And a rough spot it is. Once again, there's one of the luxuries of being up at this point of the game, 14-0. You want to try to punch it out there, maybe take a little time off the clock, and once again, trust in your defense.
Alan Barnes will bring them up to the line. They will run out of an I backfield this time. Ramon Nesbitt and Chris McClendon in the backfield. He drops back to pass, throws it over the top, has a receiver, and the ball is incomplete. No penalty flag on the far side of the field. A.T. Barnes trying to come back to the football. Great defensive effort that time by number 21, Vatari Starr.
Well, Scott, what the coaches are complaining about is Vatari Starr, who was manned up on A.T. Barnes, did not turn for the football. If you're making a play defending somebody, you've got to turn the football. There was a little bit of contact, and you can't just play the receiver. You have to play the football, and that's what the Cartersville coaches are contending, and I would tend to agree with them.
So Cartersville backed up again at their own 2-yard line, facing 3rd and 14, and again Alan Barnes will go under center. One back in the backfield is Nesbitt. This time they hand up to Chris McClendon up the middle, who gets back to maybe the original line of scrimmage back at the 6-yard line, and now the Hurricanes will be forced to punt, but it gives them a little bit of room to kick it out of the end zone, and that clock continues to run. We're down to 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go here in the first half.
Tip your hat to the Villa Rica defense. Did a great job of holding Cartersville right there. Cartersville tries the pass play on 2nd down, so not that much time off the clock.
Back deep to receive for Villa Rica, Matt, is number 8, Almanzo Walker. He'll be standing at the Cartersville 35-yard line. Roman Gilliam standing in his own end zone, 4:27 to go. He gets the snap and gets it off. It is an end-over-end kick. It'll be fielded. Actually, he drops the football. It's on the ground, and he falls back on it at the 33-yard line, and Davin Winters again loses his helmet. Might want to check the size of that thing. It's the second time I've seen it pop off.
Well, he's got an ear. Now he's playing without an ear hole. Anthony Townsend has it in his hand. Picked it up, now he didn't know what to do. I think he just threw it back on the field. But yeah, I mean, not only, I mean, look kind of neat on TV when you see, you know, pro players with their helmets fly off, but the bottom line is, if that thing's flying off, it's not doing everything it needs to protect your head. Well,
the line judge just put it in his pants. So I don't know what he's wearing in there now. So Villa Rica will take over in good field position at the Cartersville 32-yard line. And Evans goes under center, again an I backfield. And this time he's going to run the option down the line. He pitches that ball out, and Sergio Jones gets a lane, turns back upfield, crosses the 30 down to the 25-yard line, and that's a gain of almost 8 yards on first down on what should have really been a busted play. Kind of looked like a poor effort on the pitch, but somehow Jones found the lane.
Dangerous and ill-advised pitch. He actually pitched that through Brandon Houston. Whole lot of interference between Evans and the ball carrier. He throws that pitch up there. That could have very easily been intercepted and taken back the other way, but as it ends up, Sergio Jones with a nice gain on first down.
Well, and Evans will again go back under center. This time he hands off to his fullback Strickland up the middle, who gets nowhere on 2nd down, and that's going to bring up 3rd and short.
Darius Benham and Davin Winters right there once again.
Actually, they're going to go ahead and spot it forward enough to give him the first down.
It's a little uncharacteristic. Most of the spots tonight for either side have been less than generous.
So 3:25 to go here in the first half. Hurricanes leading at 14-0. Villa Rica in good field position again at the Cartersville 22-yard line. Wildcats go under center, and Evans brings his wide receiver in motion, and this time he's going to drop back on the option, kicks it outside to Jones. Jones looking for the corner, and Jones gets tripped up inside the 20 down to about the 16-yard line. A gain of almost 6 yards on first down brings up 2nd and short now, and the clock continues to run under 3 minutes to play.
Once again, a little bit extra speed to the outside as Evans gets out there. In weeks past, you've been able to play both the quarterback and the running back. This week you got to play either one or the other. Brandon Houston beat to the outside that time.
So Villa Rica will go under center out of the I, and this time they hand off underneath to Sergio Jones, who pushes his way across the 15 down near the 10-yard line. He's going to be near the first down marker, but the clock continues to run. 2:22 to play. Wildcats do have 2 timeouts remaining. They're going to be shy of the first down. It's going to be on the 12-yard line.
Third and very short, Scott. You would think, judging by what they did on 4th down last time, that they'll take 2 downs to get this yard.
They really need the 12-yard line, and it's just inside the 13 and the 12, so they need about half a yard for the first down, so it's 3rd and short. And again, Ant Evans brings it up to the line. This time, with that offset eye, they're going to send a receiver in motion, and they pitch it off to Sergio Jones, who's hitting the backfield, now turns up. Looks like he's got the first down as he gets down near the 10-yard line. A little extra effort that time by number 71, Philip Swafford. And that's going to go ahead and move the chains, Matt.
Sure, the good news is I think that's going to get spotted just inside the 10. So, I mean, if you could have good news, there's no way they can get a first down, and they've got just about as long as they possibly could to get into the end
they've got
zone.
the chain still out, so I guess it's right at the 10-yard line. I don't know if it is possible to get him down. Now they've pulled him down, said 1st and goal. Right at the 10-yard line, Ant Evans is going to go under center out of the I, and this time he hands off to Strickland up the middle, and Strickland gets a couple as he pushes his way inside the 10-yard line down to about the 7. He might have picked up 3 yards on first down.
Scott, Villa Rica is going to take a timeout with 1:19 to go in the half. Cartersville leads 14-0. We'll take a 30-second break. You're watching the Workhorse Video Productions Game of the Week and listening to Community Radio, AM 1450, WBHF. Villa Rica comes back from the sidelines. 2nd down and goal from the 6-yard line. 1:19 to go in the half. Villa Rica trails 14-0 to the Hurricanes. To tell you the story here, Scott Singer.
Thanks a lot, Matt. Well, the Wildcats will bring it up to the line. Ant Evans goes under center, again an I backfield, and this time he hands off up the middle to Strickland, his fullback, who gets dropped right at the line of scrimmage, and that's going to bring up 3rd and goal. So the clock continues to run. 1:09 to play here in the first half, and the Hurricanes continue to bend but not break. The ball will be spotted just inside the 5, let's call it the 4-yard line. The Hurricanes will bring a little size in defensively. Mike Fair checks into the game, along with Ian Smith playing a little defense. So the Hurricanes bring a little more size in on the defensive line. 45 seconds to go, and offset I. They're going to send it back in motion. Ant Evans under center. 1 timeout left for the Wildcats. They pitch it out to Jones. Jones looking for the corner, and he's at the pylon, and he's in for the touchdown. So the Wildcats put 6 on the board with just 34 seconds remaining here in quarter number 2, and the Hurricane streak is over. They went 11 quarters and 11 minutes and 26 seconds without allowing a touchdown. Actually, without allowing a score. As the first touchdown scored against the Hurricanes this year. And now coming in to attempt the extra point will be Peter Reese. The snap is down, the kick is on its way, and it's good, and Villa Rica on the board. 14-7 your score. We'll take 30 seconds and come back with the kickoff. You're watching the high school football game of the weekend, listening to WBHF AM 1450.
.34 seconds to go in the half. Cartersville leads this one, 14-7. On the road at Villa Rica. Sam McIntyre Field, Matt Santini along with Scott Singer. Radio audience during the half. You'll have all the latest scores and updates from Melody in the studio during the halftime show. Television folks. Scott, they're going to get to enjoy a halftime show this week, or something changed because we're on the road?
We're on the road, so they'll be facing the other side, so I don't think we'll see the halftime show this week.
Okay. Well, you just get to see the second half.
Again, we are looking for a halftime sponsor.
Cartersville with 34 seconds, Scott. They still have the timeouts all put together. Do you think they're going to try to do anything here? I guess it would depend on the field position.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what happens here. 34 seconds to go in the half. And they'll kick this one, a little squib kick down the middle. Brandon Houston will fall on it at the 31-yard line, and that's where the Hurricanes will take over with 33 seconds to play here in the first half.
Now, I think they do Cartersville a favor there. Houston does the right thing. No time taken off the clock. Gives Cartersville the ball on the 31-yard line. I remember Villa Rica gets the ball to start the second half.
The Canes
I think gives the Canes a chance to get themselves into field goal position. I don't want to be a prophet or anything, but Kyle Tucker's here tonight. Holds the Cartersville school record for kicking field goal distance. I told him his record was going to fall tonight. So let's see if it happens right here.
Oh, let's see. Still got a lot more to happen before they attempt that. All right, Ramon Nesbitt, and they hand off right up the middle to Devin Evans, who gets a couple. Actually, that's Chris McClendon in at fullback.
So from here, it would be an 87-yard field goal, Scott.
I don't think they'll attempt that one, Matt.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to run another play. 15 seconds to go here in the first half. Cartersville leading it 14-7. And
good enough football for the Canes, though.
now they'll bring it up to the line quickly. Alan Barnes goes under center. 3 seconds, they're going to send Nesbitt in motion, and this time they give it to him around the right end, and he's going to get hit right at the line and brought down. No gain that time, and that'll do it here for the first half. As Cartersville will head to the locker room, leading it 14-7. Obviously, the Hurricanes a little bit upset with the field position they got, and Kyle Tucker will have head coach Frank Barden for us in just a second as we get ready to go to the half, as the halftime show getting ready to come onto the field. Again, our score, Cartersville 14, Villa Rica 7. And again, you've been watching the high school football game of the weekend. We'll head down to the field now as Kyle Tucker has Cartersville head coach Frank Barden. Kyle, what do you have for us?
All going in the second half?
Well, they have. They've not only been on the field a lot, we've been backed up in a hole. And when you win the field position, that's a big part of the ball game. That's what's happening. And when we got it out of the hole, we can, throw the ball.
Your best half that you played, but at the same time, you're up 14-7 on the road in a tough environment. How do you feel going to the half?
Well, we just got to go in and make sure that our kids understand they're in a ball game. This ain't one of them games where you're going to go out and win by halftime and come back out on the sideline second half.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck second half. Back up to you, Scott.
Thanks a lot, Kyle, and there you have it. We do apologize for some of the technical difficulty. There's, I guess, a lot of strange frequency down here at Villa Rica High School tonight. The ref's mic working good, but our sideline mic has had a couple problems with it. Hopefully we'll get that thing worked out here at halftime, and it'll be working in the second half. Matt, you got some numbers for us?
I have them courtesy of my brother Todd, who does a fantastic job for us, keeping us straight on the radio side as well. A little bit surprising as far as the statistics go. Of course, Cartersville leading this one 14-7. Alan Barnes, 4 of 6 tonight, 74 yards. Does have the 31-yard touchdown pass to Anthony Barnes. Leading rusher, Chris McClendon, 3 carries, 11 yards. Check that. It's Devin Evans with 15 yards and a touchdown score on 3 carries. But Ramon Nesbitt, who has been amassing a large number of yards this year, 5 carries, only 3 yards. They've held him in check pretty well tonight. On the Villa Rica side of things, Ant Evans, 2 of 4 for 13 yards to the air. All that to Alan Gentry. Neil Strickland, the workhorse for Villa Rica on the ground, 11 carries, 23 yards. Sergio Jones, 9 carries, 36 yards and a touchdown. And Evans, 36 yards on 5 carries as well. Of course, the punter, Sean Myers, had a 27-yard gain on the ground as well. So statistically, you would think Cartersville, who you heard Coach Barton kind of allude to it, has gotten out of the hole and then kind of gotten back in the hole. You would think up by 7 that they would be leading statistically. That's not the case. Villa Rica, 122 yards on the ground, 13 through the air for a total of 135. Cartersville, 32 on the ground, 74 through the air for a total of 106. So Villa Rica winning the statistical battle, but more importantly, Cartersville winning the battle on the scoreboard, 14-7.
And we'll take a look at the score recap quickly, Matt. In the first quarter with 1:17 to play, Alan Barnes hit A.T. Barnes on a 31-yard touchdown pass. That made it 7-0 with the Chad Rhodes extra point. Then with 11:42 to go here in the first half, Devin Evans busted one up the middle for 15 yards into the end zone. That made it 14-0. And then on a on a tough break for the Canes. They had to punt out of their end zone. Villa Rica just stuck it down close, and then with 34 seconds to go in the first half, Sergio Jones went around the right end on a 4-yard touchdown run that made it 14-7 and really put new life into this Wildcat offense.
Certainly did. And you got to remember, Villa Rica building on that momentum. They go into the locker room feeling a little bit good about themselves. They will get the ball to start the second half. So they, right off the bat, they'll have a chance to tie this game up and go into the locker room feeling that they are right in the middle of this ball game.
And there you have it, our score at the half, Matt. Cartersville 14, Villa Rica 7. For our radio listeners, we'll send it back to the studio with Melody for scores and highlights. And for our TV viewers, we'll take a quick break and come back with half number 2. You've been watching the high school football game of the week and listening to WBHF AM 1450.
Melody, welcome back to the television audience. 14-7, your halftime score. No, nobody scored during halftime, Scott. Villa Rica will get the ball to start the second half. A couple other scores to pass on to you. LaGrange 3-0 over Carrollton. And what was the other score we had?
We had Darlington scored it.
We had Darlington 27-0 over Rockmart. And of course, Melody just told you Cedartown 30-7 over Cass right now. And Ringgold with a 3-0 lead over Woodland. Of course, the Bearsville Tigers are off this week, so news looks very good for the Hurricanes, looks very bad for Cass, and looks so-so right now for the Wildcats. As the Hurricanes make their way to the sideline, Villa Rica getting set to do the same. And Scott, this is kind of, the way this second half is going to start is kind of how I prefer to start the football game, is with your defense, make a statement, win the early battle of field position, and then put your offense on the field for the first time with really good field position, and then make something happen from there. But play a lot with emotion on defense. The Hurricanes, after giving up their first touchdown of the season right there at the last part of the half, we'll see how red their eyes are as they come out here for this first possession of the second half.
Well, Chad Rhodes is set to kick this one off from the 40. And we saw something a little different earlier, Matt. On one of his kickoffs, he sent it into the end zone, and that's something that Cartersville hasn't tried all year, and you see how strong the leg is of Chad Rhodes.
Well, you know, on film, Villa Rica's looking at it, and every time he's going to hit a high pooch kick to around the 25, 30-yard line and make somebody fair catch it. And like I said, he just kind of changed his leg angle and just launched what looked like a low 3-iron right through the end zone. Did it on the next kick as well. And when Terrence Terrell went to return it, he only got back up to about the 16, 17-yard line. So good coverage when the Canes did opt to go deep. Now you spread out that defense. You may want to pooch kick it. So kind of gives you options, puts the element of surprise back in there, and you got to defend against 2 types of kicks instead of just one. We'll see what Rhodes and the Cartersville Special Teams unit choose to do right here as we start the second half.
Sergio Jones and Terrence Terrell are back deep to receive, and this time they do the little pooch kick. It'll be fair caught at the 32-yard line, and that's where Villa Rica will take over. Handling the ball that time was number 36, Petey Tukes, and so Villa Rica takes over with good field position to start the second half. Villa Rica will take over at their own 32-yard line as they'll bring it under center. Ant Evans will bring him up to the line again. In at quarterback for the Wildcats. Evans with his tight end to the right side of the formation. Backfield, and now he's going to call timeout as Villa Rica burns their first here in the second half. And with our score, Cartersville 14, Villa Rica 7. We'll take a quick break. You're watching the high school football game of the week and listening to WBHF AM 1450.
Well, we're 1 second into the second half. Villa Rica burns an early timeout here in the second half. Cartersville leading 14-7. First down and 10. Ball spotted on the 33-yard line. Here's Scott to tell you about it.
Thanks a lot, Matt. Well, out of the eye, Villa Rica with the football, and this time they give it to Sergio Jones up the middle, who's hit right at the line of scrimmage and brought down after a short gain, bringing up 2nd and long, and the clock continues to run. 11:49 to play here in the third quarter. Cartersville holding on to a 14-7 lead here at Sam McIntyre Field.
Davin Winters playing a heck of a ball game tonight, Scott, all over the field, at the bottom of nearly every pile, as he was on that one.
Villa Rica with the football. They will run the tight end to the right side of the formation. Out of an eye backfield. And Evans goes under center, and this time he rolls out on a counter reverse. They give it off to number 23 in the backfield, and he's going to be leveled and brought down for very little gain. That was Kyle Story, the ball carrier, but there is a late penalty flag on, and we'll see what the call is.
Terrell Johnson and See the other number on that. Taylor Sharp did a great job of staying at home and reading that reverse.
So we'll see what the call is as the head referee, Dan Ragsdale, gets ready to tell the Hurricanes what the call is. Looks like it will go against Villa Rica.
Scott is killing me. We already know what it is. Let's tell him.
Block in the back, decline, third down.
So I think that's the right call on the big loss. You decline the penalty and you force a third down throwing situation. Ball backed up now on the Villa Rica 26-yard line. They've got to get to the 42 for a first down.
So it's 3rd and long for the Wildcats. Again, Ant Evans goes under center. This time he rolls out under play action. Zach Kiesler in pursuit. He tosses it over the middle, and the ball is incomplete, broken away at the last second by Devin Evans. The ball intended for Neil Strickland, and that's going to bring up 4th down, and the Wildcats will be forced to punt. And Matt, you made the point that was a great call to make them have that 3rd down passing situation. You make their quarterback throw the football, and more importantly, now you've held them on their first offensive possession when they did have all the momentum going into the half. You've taken a little of that momentum away and a timeout, and now you get the football back with 10:58 to go.
Yeah, if this ball game stays close, I think that timeout's really going to come back and haunt them. Really no excuse. You have a guy that forgets to come on the football field for the first play of the second half. You've had 20 minutes to know that you're going to get the football and that you need to be on the field.
Sean Myers gets the snap and gets the ball underway. Mike Fair was providing some pressure. The ball will bounce, and we'll take a Villa Rica roll down to the 35-yard line, and that's where the Hurricanes will take over. 1st and 10 with 10:48 to play here in quarter number 3.
10:48 to go in the third quarter. Cartersville leading 14-7. You're watching the Workhorse Video Productions Game of the Week and listening to Community Radio AM 1450 WBHF. Matt Santini along with Scott Singer. Cartersville with their first possession of the second half. Alan Barnes will bring them to the line. And to tell you all about it, once again, here's Scott Singer.
Well, the Hurricanes come up to the line, Matt. 10:48 to play here in quarter number 3. Canes with their first possession here in the second half. They'll run out of an I backfield. Alan Barnes goes under center. Tight end to the right side of the formation. He hands off to Nesbitt up the middle, who pushes his way across the 35 out near the 37-yard line. A gain of 2 on first down brings up 2nd and 8.
Villa Rica has really done a good job of locking up Ramon Nesbitt tonight. He's had one run of, I think, of about 8 yards, but other than that, they've really held him in check and bobbled him up at the line.
Clock continues to run now, Matt, with 10:24 to go. After the gain of 2, the ball will be spotted. Actually, he almost gained 3 yards, brings up 2nd and 7, and the ball will be spotted up at the 38-yard line. The Hurricanes need their own 45 for the first down as Barnes goes under center. A.T. Barnes split out wide to the left side of the formation. This time, ball on the ground, and Allen in trouble is going to go back to the 30 and take the sack. That'll be a loss of 7 on second down, brings up 3rd and 15.
I was getting ready to say, Todd was telling me 6 carries for Ramon Nesbitt, only 6 yards. As Barnes has that ball stripped from his lineman as it tried to pull the right guard across to run a trap play, and the ball got knocked out of Barnes' hands as he came across. Wayne Terry will come out. They'll bring in Terrell Johnson as they get some younger, thinner, slimmer bodies in there to run downfield in this passing situation. 3rd and 14 from their own 31.
Well, again, the Hurricanes will come out of the shotgun. Alan Barnes with 2 wide receivers to the right side of the formation. He rolls out under pressure, throws for the flat, has a receiver this time, and Terrell Johnson up near the 40-yard line, and he's going to be brought down. And that's going to bring up 4th down, and the Hurricane punt team will come on the field. 9:14 to go here in quarter number 3 as the Hurricanes will be forced to kick it away. So you go 3 and out on your first possession, and a lot of it came down to what was a rough snap and a busted play on second down.
A lot of extra coaching going on right now by Frank Barton. Of course, he works very closely with the quarterbacks, and in particular Alan Barnes. Saw him earlier pulled back from the sidelines while the defense was on the field, and now going to take a little time with him as well.
Roman Gilliam with a monster kick. Kicks it down to the 30 where it's fielded. Here comes Villa Rica back the other way. They've got a lane. The ball carrier is loose. 1 man to beat, and he's going to fake out Roman Gilliam, and he has gone to the house. That's number 24, Terrence Terrell, as he goes the distance, bringing it back, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown, but there is a flag on the field.
I believe, Scott, there's a coach on the sideline. I think there's going to be an unnecessary roughing on one of the Villa Rica players. That flag is down at the 32-yard line, 30 yards behind the play. Somebody took a cheap shot and they got caught, and it's coming back.
Well, the Hurricane faithful on their feet and very excited about that one, and that was a big special teams play taken away from Villa Rica.
Charlie Satterwhite, the one that was flagged on that, as I can only guess, as the coach came out from the sideline and drug him off the field.
We'll get the official call from Dan Ragsdale in just a second. So it'll be first down for Villa Rica, but on what was an excellent punt return.
And Scott, it's going to be a block in the back. I don't know if that block in the back happened. It had to have happened way behind the play because Terrell was already dancing in the end zone. Everybody was happy when the Cartersville faithful stood up and saw the flag get dropped. So an ill-advised block. And now Villa Rica having more problems getting personnel in the field. And they're going to probably have to burn another timeout. Scott is coming late onto the field. Is Sean Nations, one of their linemen. And now they got a second one coming out here as well.
Now the Wildcats are going to try to quickly come up to the line. They'll work from the Cartersville 42, and they do get the playoff as they hand off right up the middle to their fullback. That time carrying the ball was Neil Strickland as he gets across the 40 down to the 38 of Cartersville. 8:19 to go. Villa Rica again starting at the start of this drive at the Cartersville 42 after the penalty. They're now inside the 40 down near the 38-yard line. 2nd and 6 to call. 8:04 to play here in the third quarter. Villa Rica moving around a lot. And now Ant Evans hands off to Strickland up the middle, who gets through the first line and gets dropped at the 30-yard line. That'll be good enough for a Villa Rica first down, and the Wildcats move the chains.
Scott, I got to tell you what, this Villa Rica offensive line is feeling it right now. This offense is pumped up, and they got Cartersville back on their heels a little bit. Somebody on that defense going to have to make something happen right here. They played a great game to this point, but Villa Rica on the move and definitely walking with a little bit of a swagger here early in the second half.
7:48 to play here in the third quarter. Villa Rica on the move. 1st and 10 from the Cartersville 30. The Wildcats bring it up to the line. Ant Evans not in at quarterback this time. They're now going to substitute Sean Myers in at quarterback. Myers out of the eye, takes the football and hands off to Sergio Jones around the right end, and he's hit and dropped. Coming on to make the play that time was Terrell Johnson, and then Devin Evans finished him off. It'll be a loss on the play, brings up 2nd and long, and the clock continues to run. 7:20 to go here in the third quarter.
And that's the one play you really needed to get everything reset. Kind of remind Villa Rica that you are giving them more than just a look on the other side. Great job by Johnson and Evans getting to the football. Force those long downs, force them to try to throw the football to beat you.
7:04 to play here in the third quarter. Again, the Canes leading at 14-7. It'll be 2nd and 11. Wildcats working just outside the 30 at the 31, and this time they hand off to Strickland up the middle. He's dropped and hit right at the line of scrimmage. And that'll bring up 3rd and long. And now Villa Rica again forced into what should be a passing down.
Darius Benham on the big hit along with Brandon Houston. It's a different guy every play. Coming up making just a big stick. They're not just grabbing and tackling, they're really putting a lick on these Wildcats. We'll see what Myers does, which we expect to be his first pass attempt of the second half, or first pass attempt of the game.
Well, the Hurricane defense will dig in. 6:19 to go here in the third quarter. Canes up 14-7. Villa Rica with the ball, 3rd and long the call. And this time they'll hand off to Sergio Jones up the middle, who gets through the first wave and continues on his feet across the 30 down to the 35. The ball is loose. Looks like the Canes have it. We'll see what the official call is. And
they're going to say he's down, Scott.
They're going to say he was down by contact.
They have down by contact. They're going to say he's down anyway, but
down,
the good
whatever.
news, it's going to be, he's down anyway, but it's going to be 4th down and looks like about 2 or 3.
So it's going to be 4th and looks like about 3 yards, Matt.
Wildcats are going for it.
They need the 20, the ball sitting just across the 22, so they need about 2.5 yards on this play. Bringing him up to the line is Sean Myers. Myers will go under center. This time he hands off to Sergio Jones, who's hit right at the line of scrimmage, breaks loose, gets outside, and gets through one tackler, and I believe has the first down.
Wow.
Sergio Jones just kept his feet moving and continued to push through the Cartersville defense.
They walled him off right at the line of scrimmage, had him, and he somehow shook free and got the extra yards. I tell you what, a pretty small guy, and he's kind of reminds you a little bit of an Antoine Sams type back, where he was able to just kind of scat around that pile and get to the outside and get the first down. 5:15 to go in the third quarter. 1st and 10, Villa Rica looking to tie ball in the Cartersville 15.
At the 15 again, they'll go under center. 2 backs in the backfield out of the eye, and this time he drops back, throws over the top. Myers has a receiver in the end zone, and the ball is incomplete. That time, Sean Myers looking for number 80, Alan Gentry, in the corner of the end zone, and just overthrew him a little bit. And the clock stops, just under 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Ball spotted at the 15-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. Sean Myers again in at quarterback, and he was the guy on the punt that showed so much speed in the open field, and really it wasn't a fake punt, it was more of a busted play, and really the biggest turning point in this game as Myers goes under center, out of the eye, and this time he's going to run the option down the line. He keeps it going up the middle, and he's going to be hit and dropped right at the line of scrimmage for no gain, bringing up 3rd and 10 again. So with 4:50 to go here in the third quarter, Villa Rica again knocking on the door deep in Cartersville territory, but the Cartersville defense continues to hold strong.
They've risen to the occasion on 1st and 2nd down, Scott. You really got to lock him up these last 2. Guaranteed. Of course, it will bring up another interesting situation. Should they stop him on 3rd? Do they go for the touchdown or do they kick the field goal? But worry about stopping him right here on 3rd down first.
Sergio Jones and Neil Strickland in the backfield again for Villa Rica as Myers goes under center. Tight end to the right side of the formation, long snap count, and this time he hands off to Strickland, the fullback up the middle, who crosses the 15 down to about the 13-yard line. A gain of 2 on 3rd down, brings up 4th and 8, and here Villa Rica brings on their kick team. Neil Strickland pushes inside, and you kind of wonder about the play calling in the middle sometimes, Matt.
Well, Scott,
you need 10 yards, and you're running with the fullback who hasn't done anything all night.
You've got to feel that Villa Rica is confident in what they're doing offensively, that they feel like they can get the ball in the end zone again. They may as well take the points.
Peter Reese will come on to attempt the field goal. That one goes through, and that one a 20 or 30-yard field goal attempt. It's good, and with 3:42. Our score, Cartersville 14, Villa Rica 10. We'll take a quick break and come back. You're watching the high school football game of the week and listening to WBHF AM 1450. And welcome back to Sam McIntyre Field. You're watching the high school football game of the week and you're listening to WBHF AM 1450 as with 3:42 left in the third quarter, Peter Reese connects on a 30-yard field goal to put Villa Rica on the board again. It's now 14-10. Hurricanes clinging to the lead. Nestle Arocho late to get on the field for the Hurricanes as their return team comes on. I guess he's replacing Devin Evans, who probably trying to catch a quick blow on the sidelines. Back deep.
Noticed they were one man short and decided to run on the field and fill it in.
Reese will now attempt to kick off here from the 40. Back deep to receive Raymond Nesbitt. Again, 3:42 to go. And it'll just be a little squib kick up the middle, fielded by Brandon Houston. He picks it up, and Houston, running for daylight, gets hit and dropped back at the 31-yard line.
Line drive kick. Like something Derek Jeter would have caught. Give him a lot of credit, though, because he did catch it. It could have very easily bounced off his shoulder pads and gone free, but one thing you want to do once you catch a line drive kick like that is just make what you can going forward.
They're going to give him forward progress up to the 32-yard line, Matt, so the Hurricanes start with relatively good field position back in their own territory. And they'll bring it up to the line. Hurricanes with the football. They'll run that true Delaware wing tee.
I think you got to go out to the flat again with Devin Evans on the pass. You got to do something to get that defense to back off the line.
Wayne Terry in at tight end, and this time the Hurricanes give it to Raymond Nesbitt, who drops back the halfback option. Roman Gillian comes back to the football, and it's incomplete. What a play that time as is real good play that time by the Hurricanes, and we're going to head down to the field with Kyle Tucker. Kyle, what do you have for us?
To sustain a drive, not necessarily score, but eat some time off this clock. Canes have the lead up by 4. Defense has been on the field all night. Guys are starting to cramp up on the defensive line, so a big drive here for the offense. Back up to the booth.
Thanks a lot, Kyle, and got that sideline mic working out now with 3:31 to play here in quarter number 3. Canes with the football. It'll bring up 2nd and 10, and as Kyle said, the Canes need to eat some clock, and that incomplete pass didn't help as Alan Barnes goes under center, out of the eye. A.T. Barnes in the flat. They throw to him on the wing, and Barnes has it incomplete.
Boy, Scott, well, actually what happened, that ball was tipped at the line, so you can have any kind of contact. Folks over here want pass interference. That ball was tipped as he threw it. Once that ball is tipped at the line, it's up for grabs. So the contact on the outside as the ball got to A.T. Barnes, no infraction. And a little bit of a surprise checking into the game, Antoine Sams. We didn't expect him to see action tonight. Nostalgia Rocha comes off the field. You got to think if they're bringing Antoine in, they've got to have something geared towards him.
Well, with 3:26 to go here in the third quarter, Matt, the clock has stopped as Alan Barnes will go under center. Wing to the right side of the formation now is Antoine Sams. They're going to send Sams in motion, and this time they fake to him on play action, rolling out over the flat, and the ball is incomplete. That time intended for Raymond Nesbitt at the 45, and Barnes just missed him, and now the Hurricanes will be forced to punt. 3:21 to go here in the third quarter, and now they got to give Villa Rica the ball back. And the Canes didn't need a whole lot of time off the clock on that series.
No, they didn't, and really it's bad because Kyle had mentioned you've got defensive linemen, these big bodies that have been working in the trenches all night, starting to get cramped up. Darius Benham on the sideline getting a calf worked on down there, trying to get it stretched out even as we speak. A lot of guys taking a lot of water.
Roman Gilliam coming in, and he kicks this one away, a high floating kick. It'll take a bounce and a Cartersville roll down toward the 20-yard line, and it'll die right there. So a great kick that time by Roman Gilliam. That one spanning 48 yards. And
3:08 to go in the third. Cartersville leading this one 14-10.
So
drive will start right squarely on the 20-yard line. Villa Rica has moved the football fairly well tonight, and in particular late in the second quarter and on their last possession here in the third quarter. Sean Myers is coming. Now we got another quarterback back in, is Bo Evans.
So Bo Evans in at quarterback for Villa Rica, and they hand off right up the middle.
Check that, Scott. It's number 13. It's Ant Evans. He's back in the ball game. But you got to wonder, why would you had Sean Myers, who brought him down the field and had everybody clicking really well with him. Why do you bring Ant Evans back in?
Yeah, that's a good question, Matt. They really did look good offensively on the last series, and now the cramp's starting to hit Villa Rica as well. Neil Strickland looks like he's cramped up.
I don't know, Scott. This typically, if it's a cramp, they're going to let everybody take care of it. Man, I'll tell you what, the Wildcats got a couple players trying to carry him off the field. I hope it's not something more serious than that.
And he's going to go down, and we're going to have an official timeout while trainers work on him. So we'll take a quick break. You're watching the high school football game of the weekend. You're listening to WBHF AM 1450, 2:46 to play here in the third. Cartersville holding a 14-10 advantage.
.240 to go. Clock starting to run. And tell you the story about it, here's Scott Singer.
Thanks a lot, Matt. Ant Evans back in at quarterback. They're going to send a wide receiver in motion. 2nd and 5 the call. They pitch it out to Sergio Jones. Jones looking for the corner, and coming on to make the play that time was Brantley Ledbetter, who drops him back at the 22-yard line. A loss of a couple on the play, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 8 now for the Villa Rica offense.
Great team defense. It's Ledbetter that gets the tackle, but it was Terrell Johnson who was really the one that made that happen. And to add insult to injury, there's a flag on the play.
Looks like it'll be holding. We'll get the official call in a second, Matt, with 2:24 to go here in the third quarter. And this is all good. This is given, this is taking some time off the clock here. It's Villa Rica's not going in a positive direction right now, and this could be a big defensive stand for the Canes.
And Scott, unlike before, I think you go ahead and take this penalty. You want to back them up as far as they can, almost eliminate their running game.
2nd down.
Force them to throw the football. So as he said, it will be second down. Ball going to be backed up all the way back to the Villa Rica 13-yard line. They've got to get up past the 30 for the first down. Second down and 17.
Villa Rica with the football, working back deep in their own territory. Ann Evans goes under center. One back in the backfield is Sergio Jones. He pitches it out to him around the left end. Jones looking for the corner, and he's going to be hit and knocked down in the backfield. Dropped back at around the 11-yard line.
Terrell Johnson, and looks like Sergio Jones is a little bit slow to get up himself. He got, as West Durham would say, planted and watered right there around the 15-yard line.
Jones got popped, and he's dropped hard. That brings up 3rd and 19 now, back at the 12-yard line. Villa Rica needs the Cutters, or their own 31.
By the way, earlier the injured player was Neil Strickland, their fullback. He was cramped up, and looks like Sergio Jones is working on a calf while he stands up there in the formation.
Out of the eye, this time they lose the football underneath, and we'll see who comes up with it. Looks like Villa Rica will keep the football.
That works pretty well for everybody. Make it 4th down, and Villa Rica will be forced to punt. Kyle talked about the defense being tired. They really rose to the occasion there, Scott, as they make Villa Rica go 3 and out. Even back them up.
So Villa Rica set to punt this one away, as you said, Matt. Sean Myers in. He'll get the ball at his own goal line, and he just gets that one off, and there's going to be a late penalty flag, and Terrell Johnson signaled for the fair catch back at the 38-yard line, and the penalty flag coming off, and Brantley Ledbetter is going to be called for roughing the kicker, although I don't think any contact was made.
It was running into the kicker and not roughing the kicker, Scott. And really, I was going to say before that, I'm glad I didn't, because that would have jinxed everything and to blame me for it, but the one thing you didn't want to do is to send somebody in to make contact or even put yourself in that position.
Got running into the kicker on the defense. Decline. First down.
Wow, I'd say that's a pretty good break. Not the roughing the kicker, but running into the kicker. So with 56.2 to go in the 3rd quarter, Cartersville continues to lead it 14-10. Big possession now for the Hurricanes. Ball on their own 38-yard line. Villa Rica decides to decline the running into the kicker penalty because they're really happy with the punt.
And they would not carry an automatic first down with it. It wasn't the roughing the kicker, which is a personal foul. So the Hurricanes will bring it up to the line, Matt. They will work from their own 38-yard line. And they'll try to get something going offensively this time. Cartersville from the 38. This time Alan Barnes runs the option down the line, gives it to Raymond Nesbitt, who picks it up on the busted play. He's going to be dropped back at the 35, a loss of 3 on the play. Brings up 2nd and long, and the Cartersville offense has really been sputtering here in the later half of the 2nd quarter and into the 3rd quarter, Matt.
Yeah, you know, really, they tried to run some type of, I think there was a little bit of trickery that was supposed to ensue on there. They had a really strange blocking assignment as the wide receiver came jutting towards the end, trying to crack back, I guess, on the defensive end, but Nesbitt, fortunate to still hang on to that football after he dropped the pitch the first time. Probably should have fell on it and played it safe.
Well, it brings up 2nd and 13 with the loss of 3. Alan Barnes goes under center, this time under play action, drops back, hits the reverse side to A.T. Barnes. He's loose across the 40. The 45 stays on his feet at midfield and into Villa Rica territory at the 49. And the Hurricanes will move the chains, and that's exactly the offensive play that they needed, Matt. A pickup of almost 16 yards. And the Hurricanes will move the chains with 10.4 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
Boy, one block away from springing it. Had a big body and Ian Smith out front. And Barnes ran right through him instead of waiting for the block, but gets the first down yardage. Good job, and that'll wrap things up for the 3rd quarter of action. End of 3. Cartersville leads this one by a score of 14-10. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to WBHF AM 1450, the home of Cartersville football for 50 years, and the Workforce Video Productions Football Game of the Week. Beginning of the 4th quarter, 12 minutes of action left. Cartersville has led throughout. It's gotten closer, though. They had a 14-0 lead. Wildcats scored at the tail end of the first half and kicked a field goal here in the 3rd. We kick off the fourth quarter of action. Cartersville with the football squarely on the 50-yard line and looking for points. Tell you all about it. Here's Scott Singer.
Thanks a lot, Matt. We kick off the fourth quarter. Hurricanes with the football in Villa Rica territory just across the midfield stripe. Coming up to the line is Alan Barnes. They'll run a wing to the right side of the formation in Antoine Sams. And this time they give it to Ramon Nesbitt, who dives across the midfield stripe, and he'll be brought down for no gain. That brings up 2nd and 10. Again, the Hurricanes working from the midfield stripe. And whatever they looked at defensively this week on film, Villa Rica has figured out Ramon Nesbitt this week.
They certainly have. They've really figured out the entire ground game, as Cartersville has done most of their movements on the short screens and stuff around the edge. Antoine Sams comes off, Nestelia Arocha comes in.
Canes break the huddle. They'll bring it up to the line just inside midfield.
A.T. Barnes under center, Alan Barnes out at wide receiver.
A.T. Barnes under center, as you said, Matt, rolls out to his right, looking for the corner, and now he's going to tuck it and run. He's across the 45, and he'll be knocked out of bounds at the 44-yard line. A gain of 5 on 2nd down brings up 3rd and 5.
I think you continue to run that play, Scott, because with A.T. under center, everybody's kind of expecting that quick rollout. May have a chance to slip somebody out over the middle. They'll come up running. They'll come up gunning for him.
Alan Barnes will now be back in at quarterback, it looks, as he calls the play in the huddle. A.T.'s going to be wide out to the right side of the field. The Canes will go with 2 wide receivers to the left side of the formation. Now Roman Gilliam's going to come out as they go 4 wides this time with 10:51 to go here in the game. Canes leading at 14-10. Alan Barnes under center, taking his time. Out of the shotgun, one back in the backfield, and this time on the quick draw to Nesbitt up the middle, and he gets inside the 45 down to the 43-yard line. A gain of a couple on 3rd down, brings up 4th and about 3 with 10:33 to play here in the game. So the Hurricane punt team will make their way onto the field. 10:17 to go here in the game. 14-10 your score. Hurricanes set to kick it away. Roman Gilliam standing back at his own 44-yard line. Back deep to receive for Villa Rica is Kyle Story, back at the 11. Gilliam gets the ball and kicks a deep floating kick. It'll bounce inside the 10, take a dive, and the Hurricanes will down it at the 1-foot line, and it doesn't get any better than that, Matt. And we have seen
It had a lot of English on it. That thing hit end over end at around the 5-yard line, and then just sat and spun all the way around. And as you said, right the nose of the foot, the back nose of the football, almost touching chalk right against the goal line.
So now a big series here for Villa Rica. They have the ball down by 4, and they're going to start from their own 1-yard line with exactly 9:45 to go in the game. Villa Rica brings it up to the line. In at quarterback will be Ant Evans. They will run out of the eye. Strickland back in the game at fullback after leaving with cramps. Evans goes under center. Long snap count, and this time he hands off to Strickland, who's hit right at the line of scrimmage and knocked down after he jumped over the pile for a couple. It's going to bring up 2nd and long. The clock continues to run. 9.5 minutes to go in the game. 14-10 your score. Cartersville leading this one. Against the Canes, that will back them up 5. Or 15 rather. Wish it was only 5.
I don't get much more costly than that.
So now Villa Rica will bring it up to the line. 9.5 minutes to go here in the game. And that gives them a little energy and a first down, putting the ball up at the 18-yard line. So the Wildcats come away with a first down on the infraction by the Canes. Villa Rica up at the line. Ant Evans goes under center, out of the eye. A wide receiver split out wide to the left side of the formation, tight end to the right side. And this time Evans drops back at the line, throws it over the top, has a receiver, and the ball almost picked off that time by Brantley Ledbetter, and we'll head down to the field with Kyle Tucker. Kyle, what do you have for us?
Scott, hate to see that great punt by Roman Gilliam, but down on the 1, nullified by the personal foul call. Say what I can, Coach Barton and Coach Chester. ticky-tack call on the personal foul there. The play was over. Guys were getting up out the pile. Things happen in football, so Canes, a tough personal foul right there, kind of let Villa Rica get off the goal line. Back up to you.
Thanks a lot, Kyle, and there you have it. So, like I said, we didn't see the foul, Matt, and obviously not a big deal, but cost the Canes 15 nonetheless. 2nd and 10 the call as Ant Evans goes under center, and this time he hands off right up the middle on the draw play to Sergio Jones, who's hit and dropped in the backfield. A loss of a couple that time on 2nd down brings up 3rd and long, and the clock continues to run with 8:50 to go in the game. So Ant Evans comes again from the sidelines. Checking out of the game now for Villa Rica is number 41. That's Sam Bailey, only a freshman. And now the Wildcats will bring it up to the line. The wide receiver, Alan Gentry, split out wide to the left side of the formation. Ant Evans goes under center, and this time he rolls out to his right under some pressure, looking for the corner, and bringing him down was Zach Kiesler in the backfield as he drops him inside the 10. A great play defensively for the Canes, and that's going to force Villa Rica to punt back deep in their own territory, man.
Huge play by Zach Kiesler. If Evans gets to the outside, he's got a lot of room to run. But Kiesler able to break down on him, didn't fall for the fake, makes the big tackle.
Hurricanes will get back defensively in their return. Terrell Johnson and Roman Gilliam standing inside the 50. The punt is away. It is a deep floating kick. Johnson will go back to midfield. He'll look for some room to run, turns it up at midfield, tries to catch a move and gets wrestled out of bounds inside the 40 at the 39. A return of about 12 yards, and the Hurricanes will take over 1st and 10 in Villa Rica territory. And Matt, things looking good right now for the Canes with 7:26 to go and a big opportunity here to put some points on the board.
Well, you know, you got to do something you haven't been able to do all night, and that is run the football. You need to try to churn out some yards, keep the clock going, then most importantly at the end of all this, you need to come away with some points.
Special teams, the reason for this field position right now, and the Hurricanes will bring it up to the line. Out of the wing tee, Devin Evans will come in at fullback. Antoine Sams in at the A-back. Raymond Nesbitt in at the Z.
Villa Rica's in a 6-4, Scott. It's like Pee Wee League football.
Canes with no wide receivers, double tight ends. They hand off to Devin Evans up the middle, who busted across the 30 down to the 28-yard line. And well, you like to see number 33 in the game when the Hurricanes need to run the ball. 7:15 to go. The clock is moving, and the chains are about to move as well as the Hurricanes get the first down on a gain of 12 yards on first down by Devin Evans. And Alan Barnes will now bring the play into the huddle as Devin Evans comes to the sidelines. Chris McClendon is now checked into the game at fullback, giving Devin Evans the blow. Again, the Canes will come out with double tight ends. Alan Barnes goes under center. This time he's going to send Antoine Sams in motion. They give it to him around the right end. Sams looking for the corner, takes a lick, gets inside the 25 down to the 23 and pops right back up.
Boy, I tell you what, he got drilled. He got drilled by Almanzo Walker, but like you said, he popped right back up. That probably felt pretty good on a night like this, a little bit of a breeze. Evans, incidentally, on the sideline getting treatment for cramps in both legs. 6:15 now in the game. Cartersville's moved it down to the Villa Rica 23.
14-10 your score. Canes working their way inside. 2nd and 5 the call. They'll work from the Wildcat 23-yard line. Alan Barnes coming up to the line. Possibly changing the call. Out of the wing tee, double tight ends again. This time they hand off up the middle to Nesbitt, who pushes his way near the 20-yard line. Canes need the 18 for the first down. It's going to bring up 3rd and short. But more importantly, Matt, that clock continues to run. 5:47 to play in the game.
Evans was trying to beg back in for this 3rd and short call. Head coach Frank Barton tells him to stay right there on the sideline.
Hurricanes quickly bring it up to the line. 5:35 to go in the game. 14-10 your score. Canes bring it up to the line. Chris McClendon in at fullback. And again, the Canes will run the double tight ends. Barnes now looks to the sidelines. He's got plenty of time because the Canes did a quick huddle. They'll come up to the line now. They're going to send Antoine Sams in motion, and they give it to McClendon up the middle, who pushes his way near the 18-yard line. He's going to be very near the first down marker.
Very close, especially when you consider the way that most of these balls have been spotted tonight. McClendon A little bit slow to get up. But good news is he's got the first down. Bad news is still trying to get off the turf. He's going to have to come off. Looks like he's favoring a knee, maybe another cramp.
Could be an ankle.
Devin Evans back into the ball game.
See if Kyle Tucker can check that one out for us.
Clock continues to run, Scott. This is the smash mouth. This is the attitude kind of stuff you need late in a football game. If you're going to win football, it's going to happen late, and it's going to be man-to-man, and that's what they're doing right now.
Hurricanes will bring it up to the line. Under 5 minutes to go. Alan Barnes, 1st and 10. Canes working from the Villa Rica 17, and now they hand it off to Devin Evans up the middle. Evans pushes his way near the 15 with forward progress and then gets dropped back after the initial gain. Might have gotten a couple on first down, brings up 2nd and long. But more importantly, Matt, that clock continues to run, and Villa Rica only has 2 timeouts. They're going to have to use them sparingly. And, of course, the Canes in field goal range right now to open up the lead if worse came to worse.
Any kind of wind would be at the back of the kicker, which would actually make it easier. But now 2nd and 10, clock running now, 4:18 to go. Cartersville with everybody on the line playing some smash mouth football.
Canes bringing in double tight ends. Again, they're going to send Nesbitt in motion, and this time they keep it on the option down the line. And Barnes dives across the 10-yard line down near the 9, and the Hurricanes add some yardage to this drive. They'll be near the first down. Going to be about maybe 2 or 3 yards short. The ball will be spotted inside the 10 at the 9-yard line.
Scott, these are the kind of plays that you got to have right here. 3rd and short. Once again, they've done a great job of just muscling up and pushing Villa Rica around in this drive. You give the ball to Devin Evans right here, and you get those 2 yards.
Hurricanes very impressive here. Alan Barnes going under center. 3rd and 3 the call. Villa Rica running that 6-2 stack as they bring everyone up on the line of scrimmage. And now Alan Barnes is going to come out, possibly change the play, and now the Canes will call for the timeout with 3:22 to go in this one. Cartersville leading it 14-10. You're watching the high school football game of the weekend, listening to WBHF AM 1450. We'll be right back after this.
.322 to go. Cartersville in the midst of using their first timeout. A key 3rd down and 3 play on the horizon. Ball spotted on the Villa Rica 9-yard line. Got to get down to the 6 for a first down. Ball right now spotted on the right hash. Cartersville leads 14-10. 3:22 to go in the game. Alan Barnes will bring his team to the line. Devin Evans in the backfield. Tell you all about it. Here's Scott Singer.
Thanks a lot, Matt. 3:22 to go here in the game. Alan Barnes bringing his team up to the line. They'll have a new clock. Again, 3:22 to go, 3rd and 3 the call. Alan Barnes under center, and this time he keeps it himself up the middle on the quarterback keeper, pushing his way near the first down marker, and I believe he may have it, Matt. We'll see where they spot it. That's going to be important.
Scott, he's got that first down. Great call as they do the belly option to Devin Evans, who then turns into a lead blocker. Alan Barnes follows right behind him and gets the first down. Clock will stop momentarily while they move the chains. Then it will begin again. It'll start with 3:14 to go in the ball game. Canes with a fresh set of downs. Ball spotted on the Villa Rica 6.
3:10 to go in this contest. Cartersville leading this game 14-10. Canes 1st and goal from the Villa Rica 6, knocking on the door here with 3 minutes to go as Alan Barnes goes under center, and this time he keeps it himself around the right end, diving toward the goal line. He's going to be just short, landing on the 1, a gain of maybe 4.5 or 5 yards on first down, brings up 2nd and goal. Looks like they'll spot that one right at the 1-yard line, Matt.
Scott sure would like to see them take a little bit more time in the huddle than they did on that last play. You got the lead. I know and the clock is running down. The clock is your friend right now. Take more time off in the huddle, shorten that game. Should something horrible happen, you want to leave Villa Rica as little time as possible.
Well, the Canes will bring it up to the line. They'll run one back in the backfield. That's Devin Evans out of the wing tee. 2:23 to go here in the game. Canes leading at 14-10. Alan Barnes under center, keeps it himself up the middle, pushing his way toward the goal line. Touchdown. And the Hurricanes are on the board. They lead this one by 10. It's 20-10, and now Chad Rhodes will come in for a very important field goal here. With 2:16 to go in the game, the Hurricanes may have knocked one final nail in the coffin.
That's the kind of football that makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up, Scott. Just squaring it up, saying, I'm going to run it right down your throat. You can't stop me, and that's what they did. Great sign of a leader right there in Alan Barnes. When the chips were down, he put it on himself, and he made it happen.
Chad Rhodes in to attempt the extra point. The snap is down. The kick is on the way, and it's good. The Hurricanes lead it 21-10. We'll take a quick break and come back. You're watching the high school football game of the week and listening to WBHF AM 1450.
Alan Barnes now 6 of 10 through the air for 94 yards and a touchdown. He also has 7 rushing attempts, 12 yards on the ground, and of course that crucial touchdown right there as he goes over 100 all-purpose yards again this week as he continues to grow as the leader of this Cartersville offense. 2:16 to go. Cartersville now on top, 21-10. Villa Rica will get the ball. They'll have 2 timeouts. Sending it deep will be Chad Rhodes, and here's Scott to tell you all about it.
Thanks a lot, Matt. Chad Rhodes with the kickoff. It'll be a high floating kick. It'll be fielded back at the 25, and Cartersville comes up with a big stick right there, and that'll stop Villa Rica's forward progress on the kick return. And now the Wildcats will start at their own, looks like the 32-yard line is where they're going to spot it, with 2:12 to go in the game. And Villa Rica, with their backs against the wall, will have to find some offense, and they need to find it in a hurry.
James Maxwell, Terrell Johnson with a great coverage. Chad Rhodes put it right there on a dime where he wanted to put it. And I'll tell you what, Scott, I told you right when it happened, that timeout right after the Wildcats came out for their first play of the second half, having to burn that timeout was going to come back and haunt them. Down by 11, they sure could use an extra one right here.
Well, Villa Rica coming up to the line, 2:12 to go in the game, and again, Ant Evans in at quarterback. Evans drops back under some pressure, running for his life, throws to the flat, has a receiver, and the ball is incomplete at the 31-yard line, and we got a late penalty flag.
Scott, it's going to be another, looks like it's, well, we got a few of them coming in here. It looks like it's, if I have to guess, it's going to be personal foul against the Hurricanes, but no, the guys in white are clapping. Looked like a player may have come in late after the ball fell incomplete, but that is not the case. I almost think you decline this one, Scott. I know it's, I mean, it'd bring up 2nd down and 10, but you really want to shorten their downs. The distance is really of no importance. But it is a big one as they're marching back 15 yards. We'll get the official call. Or maybe we will, or maybe we won't. Had to have been a personal foul of some sort. No indication by the referee.
And it'll be 1st and a mile back at the 15-yard line. Villa Rica with the ball, rolling out is Ant Evans. He's under some pressure. Now on the busted play, rolls back to the other side, and he's going to be hit and dropped back at the 14-yard line. A loss of a couple on the play brings up 2nd and long, and Matt, that clock continues to run. 1:45 to go in the game, and the Hurricane band on their feet.
Daniel Payne running down Evans and making the play.
The Hurricane band, we did not see them tonight because we are in an away game, which means we're facing the other side of the field, or they're facing the other side of the field. And now they throw to the flat. That ball incomplete. That time intended for number 80, Alan Gentry.
Well, you got 2nd down and about 40 to go, and you're throwing the ball 2 yards to the out, and it's just, you're not going to get it done that way. 1:24 to go in the game. You need 11 points. You need 2 possessions. And things looking better by the play. Reminder, next week Cartersville will be at home against Carrollton. Of course, you can bring your radio to the game, catch all the action right here on AM 1450 WBHF. Production company will be there shooting it as well.
Villa Rica with the football at their own 13-yard line. 3rd and 28. Wildcats with the ball. They'll drop back under some pressure. Hurricanes chasing Lee around. They've got him back in the end zone, and it's a safety. Put 2 on the board for the Canes. They lead it 23-10, and Cartersville's getting the football back with 1:16 to go. The Canes give up their first touchdown of the year, and yet they come back and score a couple here to even things out a little bit.
I think that more than makes up for it, don't you think? As they get a big deuce.
Well, we'll take a quick break momentarily with 1:16 to go here. Actually, we'll leave you right here with that one. 23-10 your score, 1:16 to go here in the game. And Matt, the Hurricanes going to get the football back. You got to be happy with what they've done here offensively if you're a Hurricane fan here in the second half. Offense sputtered between the second quarter and the third quarter, but in the fourth, they took over. Alan Barnes led the offense right down the field. They played smash mouth football. They put double tight ends in the entire time, and they just worked it right down the field.
Certainly did. And what you got to start looking at right now is as Barton's looking through his troops right there, it's a free kick. Okay, you can either punt it or you can kick off. And so you would certainly think that the Wildcats are going to opt to go the kickoff style and perform an onside kick, try to get the football back. Should the Canes recover this one, you would think that instead of sitting on it, they would go ahead and push forward, try to get the first down. If they were to just sit on it, then Villa Rica would burn a couple timeouts and they'd still get the ball back. You may as well run it straight at him and put a little bit of a nail in the coffin right there.
Antoine Sams and Raymond Nesbitt back deep to receive.
Front line has Devin Winters. Well,
it'll be fielded by Antoine Sams back at the 40, and that's where he will fall on it. Lost it in the lights momentarily. And
are you not puzzled by that? I mean, you've got a free kick after a safety, which means you can kick it either way you want. They opt to punt it away. Cartersville will get the ball in great field position, but they don't need to do anything with it. 1:16 to go, up by a score now of 23-10. Cartersville will go to 4-0 on the year, 2-0 in region play. A solid victory on the road for Frank Barden's troops tonight. They're short a man. Kiesler will come on to fill that void. Ball's just now spotted, so no real big hurry. And if Villa Rica is going to punt that away, I think you just go ahead and sit on it. Because if they don't care about getting an onside kick, they're certainly not going to care about calling timeouts. I think they're ready to take it to the house.
Alan Barnes will go under center. 1:16 to play in the game. We'll see what the Hurricanes do. Zach Kiesler in at fullback now for the Canes. They run Nesbitt in motion, and they hand it off to him right up the middle. He gets across the 45 out to the 46-yard line, and the clock will continue to roll. 1:08 to play in this one, and the Hurricanes are going to improve to 4-0 on the season. More importantly, 2-0 in Region 6 AAA, and now the Canes are undefeated as Carrollton comes to Weinman Stadium next Friday night. We don't have a score update on Carrollton and LaGrange tonight, but that was a 3-0 game at the half with the Grangers in the lead at that one over at Grisham Stadium, just down the road a little bit here, and I'll be interested to see what the score of that game is.
Of course, you can find out by listening to the post-game show, the GNN Coaches Scoreboard Show, coming up for our radio folks after the game.
And now it looks like the Hurricanes will take a knee. Alan Barnes up at the line, 30 seconds to go. He drops back, takes the knee, and that should do it as the Hurricanes will move to 4-0 on the year. Their second consecutive region victory, and they now return home to Weinman Stadium to take on Carrollton on Friday night. In what is now the biggest game of the year. Every single week the games get bigger, and now as the Canes move to 4-0, they've got a huge one coming up as Carrollton comes back to Weinman Stadium. First time the Trojans have come and played there since, I believe, the 1998 season. Actually, the 1997 season was the last time the Hurricanes played Carrollton at Weinman Stadium, and you'll see it again next Friday night. And you can catch all the action live on WBHF as well and watch it as the Workhorse Video Productions Game of the Week. We'll take a quick break and break this one down from Sam McIntyre Field. You're listening to WBHF and watching the High School Football Game of the Week. We'll be right back after this.
Yeah.
And welcome back to Sam McIntyre Field. I'm Scott Singer along with Matt Santini, and we now head down to the field. Kyle Tucker has Alan Barnes. Kyle, what do you have for us?
Alan, great game tonight, 23-10 victory on the road. How do you feel after this big win in region play?
It's a big win. We got Carrollton next week coming into home, and we got to get ready for them next week. We had a game plan tonight. We executed really well. We had a couple of almost turnovers that could have really hurt us, but the ball's got to bounce your way sometimes to win, and we got the lucky bounces tonight.
Hey, you really took control of that last drive. You guys were up 14-10. Game's still kind of in balance. 7:45 to go on the clock. You lead the team pretty much on your own down the field. I know it had to feel pretty good to lead your team to a score.
Yeah, our defense was exhausted. We had to do something on offense to keep them on the sidelines, let them drink some water and get their breath back. And our defense wins championships, and they're going to win one for us this year. And I knew what we had to do, and we just took it down and scored.
You're exactly right. On behalf of a lot of former Canes.
And we apologize.
Getting a win, we appreciate it. Good luck to you next week against Carrollton.
Thank you, sir.
And thanks a lot, Kyle. And that was your interview with Alan Barnes, probably one of the game's MVPs today, Matt, as he came up big in the later half of this one and really got things going for the Hurricanes and really took this team under his wing down the stretch and got 6 on the board. And then, of course, they came back with the safety to really put this one to bed.
Certainly so. Alan, he continues to impress. Like I said, I think that last scoring drive really even further solidifies him as one of the key leaders of this football team. It was crunch time. You always lean to your quarterback to make something happen, and he made it happen on the 3rd and long play. He finds a way to get his team into the end zone, and end result is the Canes remain undefeated and go on home with a happy victory. 2-0 in region play. That's not a bad place to be.
Well, before we look at the final numbers, let's take a look at the scoring recap of this one in the first quarter with 1:17 to go. Alan Barnes hooks up with A.T. Barnes on a 31-yard touchdown strike. That made it 7-0. Then in the second quarter with 11:42 to go, Devin Evans gets into the end zone with a 15-yard touchdown run. That made it 14-0. Then on a busted play midway through the second quarter, well, Villa Rica got some new life. It led to a drive. They then capped it off with Sergio Jones going into the end zone for a 4-yard touchdown run. That made it 14-7. They had all the momentum at the half. The Hurricanes held momentarily, but then Villa Rica got a 30-yard field goal out of Petey Reese. And then in the fourth quarter with 2:16 to play, as I said earlier, Alan Barnes took command of this team. They rolled right down the field, put 6 on the board as Barnes kept it on a 1-yard touchdown quarterback keeper, and the Hurricanes led 21-10, and then they came up big defensively with the safety to make it 23-10 your final, as the Hurricanes now improve to 4-0 overall, but more importantly 2-0 in Region 6 AAA. And let's look at some of the final numbers, Matt.
Certainly so. Todd Santini racking up the stats for us tonight. Alan Barnes, as you mentioned, another impressive night. 6 of 10 through the air, a touchdown pass, 94 yards. On the ground, he had 12 yards on 8 carries, but really that's a net. He was sacked a couple times, and that last drive he really put the team on his shoulders and made things happen. So when the chips were down, he really made it happen. Ramon Nesbitt held in check tonight, 11 carries, only 13 yards. Devin Evans, 5 carries, 27 yards. Chris McClendon, 4 carries for 13 yards. A.T. Barnes ran it once for 5, Sams once for 4. Kiesler did not carry the ball at all. For the night, Cartersville with 70 yards on the ground, 94 yards through the air, a total of 164 yards for the Hurricane offense. Now, Villa Rica, a little bit of different story between the first half and the second half. We'll look at the final numbers first. Ant Evans, 3 of 8 for 13 yards through the air. Sean Myers, 0 for 1. Neil Strickland on the ground, 17 carries, 43 yards. Sergio Jones, 16 carries, 48 yards. Ant Evans, 9 carries, only 11 yards. That's the net. Sean Myers, the punter, had the one big run, 28 yards on 2 carries. And Kyle Story with a -5 on that. The big story, though, Villa Rica, 125 on the ground, 13 through the air, 138 total yards. That's a net of only 3 yards for the Villa Rica offense in the entire second half.
There you go. A very dominating effort by the Hurricanes, especially in the fourth quarter. They now move to 4-0 on the season. More importantly, 2-0 in Region 6 AAA. And that means they return home next Friday night to take on Carrollton. And we don't know what the Trojans' outcome tonight was against LaGrange, but that game could be very important in the Region 6 AAA standings. That one's scheduled for 8 o'clock at Weinman Stadium. And, of course, you can catch all the action live right here on WBHF AM 1450. This game also, the high school football game of the week, and will be broadcast by Workhorse Video Productions the following Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. For tonight's broadcast here at Sam McIntyre Field, I'm Scott Singer along with Matt Santini. We'd like to thank the crew for tonight's game. Jason Woodside, Cheryl Kennedy, along with Brandon Brantley in the truck, Spence McCoy on one camera, Kyle Tucker joining us as the field mic down on the field today with the sideline report, along with Todd Santini and Melody Backus back in the studios of WBHF. I'm Scott Singer along with Matt Santini saying goodnight from Sam McIntyre Field. And just again, this game is copyright of WBHF and Workhorse Video Productions. Any rebroadcast or other transmission of this broadcast without the express written consent of Workhorse Video Productions is strictly prohibited. But we will see you again next Friday night. Matt, you got any final words?
Yeah, I do have to. I have to thank Peachneck Communications for the cell phone use tonight.
We would like to thank all of our sponsors and community partners for tonight's game. Of course, this would not be possible without their consent. And